p.m., October the 30th, 2009. It's Friday Night Football on LSC, your local sports channel.
Well, hello there, Paul. Again, and welcome to Darling Stadium, where the Kecoughtan Warriors are playing host to the Hampton Crabbers. Both teams 4-0 in the district, playing tonight's game for a possible playoff spot to either go home or solidify a spot. And I tell you what, Paul, let's talk a little bit about tonight's game. This could turn out to be a really barn burner here.
Well, we're hoping it does, Mike. That's why we're here. Both these teams, as you said, want to win this game. But on paper, it appears that Hampton might have the edge. Hampton's offense, though stymied last week by Phoebus, puts up an average of 31 points per game, Mike. Now, the Crabbers generate 118 yards rushing and 122 yards passing, a very balanced attack that's going to keep their opponents guessing. So Kecoughtan is going to be forced to deal with that issue tonight. Kecoughtan's offense revolves around the run. You heard that mentioned, and this is what they're going to do. They're averaging 130 yards per game. However, when it comes to passing, Kecoughtan is only averaging 60 yards per game. And frankly, I think, Mike, that they're missing Anthony Dorsey. Now, on defense, the two teams are fairly even, based on stats. Hampton gives up 244 yards per game and Kecoughtan 260. But Hampton holds its opponents to 16 points per game, while Kecoughtan allows 25 per game. Mike, last week, Hampton's defense played very well against a tough Phoebus team. If they duplicate that effort tonight, Kecoughtan is in big trouble. So watch for Hampton to try and shut down the run and force the Warriors to go to the air. A win for Hampton or a win for Kecoughtan? Who knows, Mike? All in all, it should be a good game.
Yeah, I know, Paul. You know, I guess all we can do basically is just settle in, watch the game, enjoy it, and this should be a good game according to the stats and everything. It's pretty even, so it should be, you know, a well-played game. We'll just have to see how it plays out. Let's send it down to the sideline now, where Brent has Coach Mike Smith from the Crabbers.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with head coach Mike Smith. Coach, thanks for coming over again. I want to let you know the entire truck voted last week you had to bring your offensive coordinator back this week.
Well, I'm going to get a little more experience. She had to fire her because we didn't score any points last week. I'm going to bring her back as defensive coordinator next time.
Well, speaking of offense, last week was a tough game, except for 2 turnovers right at the beginning of the game. You guys were in that game the whole time, and your defense played tremendous. Let's talk a little bit about that defense, because they shut Phoebus down for the most part.
Well, I don't know that we shut them down too much, but I thought we played hard against them and played well. Phoebus got a good football team, and, you know, we thought we could battle them toe-to-toe, and we made some mistakes on offense, and a couple of those mistakes they forced, you know. The kid made a great drop, and we made a bad read when we threw the interception, and our kid made a bad choice and tried to catch the ball on the kickoff, and he knew, man, he's a great kid. He made a mistake, and we tried to handle a punt on the one, and you don't do that. So it was some mental errors that got us in more trouble, but they were the better team that night, although I thought we played very well. I thought the game could have been closer if we'd have played a little better offensively.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about next. Your offense just seemed to sputter on one down every series. They'd look good and get a 5-yard penalty or drop a ball or whatever. It's just like it's a half a beat off sometimes.
Well, sometimes that comes from who you're playing. They did a good job on defense, and we didn't help ourselves sometimes.
Well, last week in the interview, you mentioned something that kind of keyed me for later, and that was you talked about it's hard to match up with teams right now. So I went back and looked at team size and stuff like that. Was that what you were referring to, some of it?
We're just not very big up front. We're certainly not big anywhere else. But we can't match up with people that a lot of times that run right at us, and that's what we're going to see a lot of tonight. Kecoughtan's got a big fullback that runs up inside very hard. Although Phoebus has got good size and run up at you, so we had to devise a little bit different scheme against them and to try to match up a little bit better than stopping them. We couldn't just play them one-on-one and do it. And it worked pretty good for the most part.
But talking about, looking at that, if you would just give the fans a little bit, talk about when you lack size, it's got to go down to discipline and quickness a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, quickness is always a great asset, and I think, you know, mental toughness is a big thing. These kids, these young kids we got are physically and mentally tough. I mean, they're still making some errors, but they're a great group of kids to coach. We haven't had a great year. We're not a great football team, but I think we've improved as the year's gone along, and it's been a great year to coach. I mean, we're in the 9th game now, and it seemed like we just started yesterday. So if you got a year like that with a group of kids like that, you know, You really got to be proud of them.
Well, I was going to say, you had a young team coming in, and you look at what they've accomplished. And in every game, they were in every game. It was like a half they didn't play, and they come out the next half and dominate the next half and make things happen. Last question, Coach. We talked. This has been great, but Kecoughtan tonight. You touched on about they're going to be a running team. How do you feel you match up with that?
Well, they're a little bit different football team, than the other people around. They're an option team. I don't know, it's got different names, broken bone, wishbone spread, and all that. It started down in Georgia Southern several years ago, but same thing Georgia Tech runs. And I think that's where they went down and worked on the offense. So you definitely have to try to stop the fullback first and the quarterback. They're the two key guys, I think, to stop, but they throw the ball also, so you just can't give up on that. They run some option, pitch ball more out of the speed option. They do the dive option, run little isolations, but still I think the dive play and the quarterback ride and the quarterback keep off the option. Those are the three main plays we got to try to stop tonight.
I have to tell you, I wish I had about 30 minutes sitting down somewhere so you could just put this all out there with the fans and try to understand it like you say. It's so easy. Coach, I want to thank you so much for coming over and taking time with us, and look forward to tonight's game, and good luck. Thank you so much.
I hope we understand it.
Back up to you guys.
All right, Paul, thanks. Both teams have to establish the run tonight, obviously. Let's talk a little bit about the running backs tonight.
Well, tonight the running game is going to be a big deal for both teams. Hampton spreads the ball among Charity, Wofford, and Haney. Now, Charity has 56 attempts for 273 yards, and Wofford, he's got 65 attempts out of that quarterback spot for 175 yards. And these are not flashy numbers, but they're very effective. On the other side, Kecoughtan's lead back is Reeves. Reeves has 85 touches for 465 yards. Now, they spread the ball around to some other guys, McClary, Matthews, and Bailey, who take turns in helping keep the defense from keying too much on Reeves. But Reeves is that big fullback that Mike Smith was talking about that they're going to have to stop tonight. With Hampton's 118 yard per game average and Kecoughtan's 130, Mike, we should see plenty of running action tonight.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. So let's go back down to the sidelines where Bob Hintz has Kecoughtan head coach, Mr. Glenn Tidwell.
All right, thanks, guys. I got Coach Tidwell with me. Coach, first of all, the Kecoughtan team has gone through some changes. I know the very first thing you lost Dorsey, great quarterback. You had him for so many years, and so you had to make some adjustments. How's the team responded?
Well, like you said, we've had ups and downs, and last week, first half of the Woodside game, we were one of those down moments and got into them at halftime and seemed to play a lot better. So hopefully that will carry over this week. If it don't, it will could be ugly again this week if we're not careful. So I don't think it will be. I think they're ready to play, and we had a good week of practice, and hopefully that'll carry over.
Well, always having a good week of practice helps, but I know that you got to have leaders. And you can't pick a guy and say, okay, you got to be a leader. They've got to step up and be the leader. And that's one of the things that's probably right now that you're missing.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. We've talked about it since day one, even when we had Dorsey on the team, and he was our leader then. But ever since he went down, is trying to find that guy or guys that want to say this is my team and lead and show, both on and off the field that, you follow me and we'll play better and do things the right way. And I think last week we slowly got to look at somebody who's wanting to do that, which, is Melkeem Reeves. He played well the first half and had some calls back, and then the second half he said give me the ball, and I think he wound up with close to 120 yards rushing, and hopefully he's decided that he wants to be take the leader part.
Well, that's good, because you have guys that are vocal, and then you got guys that lead by example. But let's go back to the Woodside game. Now, you had some guys that missed a whole lot of practice because of the flu that week. Yeah. You go out there and you got 3/5 of your linemen nowhere to be found because they're sick.
Right. We go out to practice, I think, on Tuesday, because it was a Saturday game, and where's my offense, and because I don't see them much during school, with where I teach, and 3/5 of them are gone, and we're not real deep at the offensive line anyway, and so we had to, put people here and there and get some things done, and it was like that all week. If it was one guy was here, then the next day somebody else was missing, and we never had all 45 to 50 guys that practice all week, and it was very frustrating. But you know, you had to do what you had to do. I called Danny on Friday night and said, "Hey, you know, we can't play." Just kidding with him. You know, he said he was in the same boat, and he had a bunch of kids that were out. So we got lucky that we got to get it in. I don't think we would not have played, but we didn't play our best football game because a lot of kids were out.
Yeah, well, you need that continuity, and it's hard to do it if you can't practice together. Let's talk about your linebackers. You got Harvey Williams, Akeem Gardner, Brandon Backus, who had a brother that played for you, I believe, and Richie Staten.
Right. All four of them are doing a great job. We'll lose Hakeem this year, have the other three back for next year, which is a good thing because, you know, they're all starting to get better. I think I think I've said in the past that the light bulb is slowly flickering on, and last week Brandon had a great game and had quite a few tackles, so hopefully tonight that carries over. He had a great week of practice, and hopefully big things will happen out of him tonight.
All right, one final question. Mike Smith, I mean, the man's been here forever. How do you prepare and get your team ready to play a Mike Smith team?
Well, I think this year, you know, with them having a few more losses than they normally do, that helps mentally with the kids because they see, well, hey, well, Warwick's beat them, and you know, Woodside's beating them, and you know, of course, Phoebus beat them a couple of weeks ago. But you know, you use that to your advantage and say they put their pants on just like we do, and they do everything like we do, and you go play. Mike Smith does what Mike Smith does. He doesn't change a whole lot, and they do what they do well, and you just have to. Hopefully, you prepared well enough for it.
Well, good enough. Well, listen, Coach, good luck to you tonight.
Okay, well, thank you.
Good enough. All right, guys, we're going to stay tuned for tonight's sponsors.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue. Nancy Staten, Director. And by our newest sponsor, Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central is located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armistead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here. More than 700 friendly businesses wait to serve you in one compact and convenient location. You'll find your favorite national chains as well as unique family-owned stores and service businesses. Coliseum Central. Get centered.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with my good buddy Bob Hintz. And before we get started on this interview, I think there's something special you might want to do.
Yeah, I do. Today is Conkey Searle's 80th birthday. And I just want to say we're going to miss you at the game tonight because they're having a big party for him. And we're going to miss him, but you can watch this on replay. Okay, Brent, back to you.
All 120 friends, I'm sure, are going to be there except us. Yeah, and I'd love to hear the jokes. I wish I had a copy of that tape.
Yeah.
Listen, we're here for this Kecoughtan Hampton game. This has been going on since before my wife got married, which was a few days ago.
Your wife got married?
Yeah.
Do you know who she married?
I haven't met him yet.
Okay.
Anyway, Hampton Kecoughtan. I was talking to Mike Smith last week, and I touched on it again tonight in the interview about matching up with teams. And after he made some comments last week, I went back and did some paperwork, some simple math. I couldn't handle anything heavy.
Just simple.
And when you stop and look look at what Hampton and Kecoughtan match up here tonight. You're always talking about teams in the trenches, and that's where the battle is going to be won and lost. So let me just throw a few figures out there before we get into this. Hampton's offensive line, which is 5 people, averaged 225 pounds. Kecoughtan's defensive front 3 averages 270. Hampton's defensive front 4 averaged 206.
206.
206. And Kecoughtan's offensive front 5 averaged 243.
Oh,
So this is what Mike was talking about, hard to match up.
Yeah.
And so as we continue this conversation, you got to keep that in the back of your mind, and that's what he's been alluding to all year, is it's hard for them to match up.
Well, again, because they're so young. Now, these kids will get older, they'll get bigger, they'll get stronger, they'll put on some weight, and they won't be as small size-wise. But you're right, they're giving up a lot of weight. But one of the things Kecoughtan's going to have to do, they're going to have to do something to stop David Watford. David, when he's throwing the ball and he gets some protection, he's going to beat you. So Kecoughtan's got to put some pressure on David Watford.
Well, when you start averaging these things up, I think Hampton is 135 yards in passing, like 3rd or 4th in the district. And Kecoughtan's like 7th or 8th in the district, passing like 42 yards a game. So that's reversed to what Mike Smith talked about earlier. He's got to stop their running game.
Right.
Their running game is like 2nd or 3rd in the district. And that's where Mike has trouble when it comes down to size. That's what I was talking about.
Well, they run that option thing. And so in the option, you got 3 guys you got to be prepared for. You either the quarterback or the dive man or the pitch man. So, I mean, you can't – if you're leaving one of them open, then you're in trouble. Yeah. And that's what Mike probably was alluding to.
Yeah, and like you say, one of them breaks a tackle, he's into the backfield that quick with their size and quick and speed. This was the first rivalry, Bob. This was the first one. When Hampton was the only school, the next school to come along was Kecoughtan, and we go back with Kurt Newsom, and you can name all the coaches I know from day one.
Yeah.
But this is still got a place in a lot of people's heart when this game shows up every night.
Well, and Brent, these guys know each other. This is the neighborhood because they have been playing with each other, against each other, ever since they played a little Pop Warner ball, whatever it's called now. So, yeah, this is a game that it holds a lot of memories for them. So, you know, everybody wants to win.
Well, I'm going to sum it up with this. When Hampton quit playing Newport News in the Turkey Day game, this was a game that took that place. And having said that, I'll let you close it out and tell us how this game's going to go, Bob.
We're going to be in the trenches. No, but it is. And not only in the trenches, but with Hampton's speed, they can disrupt heaviness. Well, you got a kid that's bigger, but if I'm quicker and I can get by him before he can get a good block on me, then I can disrupt that backfield. So they know the Kecoughtan's going to run the ball more times than they're going to pass it. Now, Hampton, you don't know. David he can come out and throw on the first play. But they got young Mr. Deion Futch. I'm impressed with this young man. You get him the ball, and watch out, baby, because he can go the distance.
Well, I think that says it, guys. It's all down to a coin toss when you average this out. They're both averaging about 220 a game total offense, and they're both down in the middle to the bottom of the offense and defense. And so with that said, we'll send it back up to you guys. Thanks again.
All right, thanks, guys. Well, tonight sounds like it's going to be a barn burner. Just listening to those guys on the sideline, that they kind of lead us right into the game. And you know, we talked a little bit about the running game. One of the things we'd like to talk about now is the passing game, where I think the edge is on the Hampton side because of Mr. Dorsey not being on the team for Kecoughtan.
You're exactly right, Mike. Hampton does seem to have the edge in passing. On paper, this looks like a bit of a mismatch, actually. Hampton's David Wofford has amassed 1,078 yards on 56 of 111 passing. He likes to throw, and he does it well. Look for him to hook up with speedster Deion Futch. Kecoughtan allows 91 yards passing per game. Hampton is going to have to take advantage of this. Kecoughtan, on the other hand, missing the young man that you see on the screen there, Mr. Dorsey, has relied on Bruce Bailey as a quarterback, and Bailey's done an adequate job. He's only thrown 46 passes. He's completed 19 for 290 yards. That's not much of an air game for Kecoughtan. He's going to have to throw in this game if the Warriors have any chance to win. They're going to have to spread it out because you heard Mike Smith say they're going to key on that running game. And in order for that running game to work, they're going to have to go to the air. As you said, Mike, I believe there's a bit of an edge here for Hampton. we'll just have to see what happens.
Yep, that's right. Both these two teams here tonight come in 4-3 in a district. The Crabbers 5-3 overall, and Kecoughtan is 4-4. And tonight's winner has a pretty leg up on making it to the playoffs. Right now, Hampton is seeded number 7 out of 8 teams that will be chosen to represent Division 5 in the Eastern Region playoffs, which start in 2 weeks, because we're a week away from the last game of the season already. As boy, has this season really gone by fast.
It has, Mike. It's hard to believe the last game is coming up, but I looked at that today while I was working on some of the information for tonight's game, and I was as amazed as you are right now to realize that one game away from the end of the season, a couple of weeks away from the playoffs.
And right now, the number 1 seed, of course, is Hampton City Schools' own Phoebus Phantoms, undefeated, ranked either number 1 or number 2 in the state, depending on which poll you look at. And again, they're battling that that spot in the rankings with none other than Oscar Smith, who happens to be Division 6 and the defending Division 6 state titles. So Phoebus is on its way to the playoffs. They've assured them spot, and at this point in time, it pretty much looks like they're going to be the number 1 seed.
Right, and yesterday's game between Bethel and Warwick has really made a big impact on the standings now, because, as you knew, Warwick and Hampton were close together there at 7 and 8, and with that loss against Bethel, Warwick is going to take a hit in the standings. Real quickly, before we go much further, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching on the screen there the Kecoughtan Warrior football team. This is senior night, and unfortunately we don't have a lot of the names of the people that are going across there, but you're watching the seniors as they're being recognized on the field in their last year here at Darling Stadium, playing for the Kecoughtan Warriors football team, not basketball. We're doing football.
Yeah, we got a couple of months before we get into the basketball season. We will be, I assume, covering some of the basketball games starting in January.
I've just been told that is Jaquan Williams on the screen right there, number 20 for the Kecoughtan Warriors. Maybe if we can get some spotting from our truck, we can give you a few of the names as they come up on the screen while Mike and I continue.
The Hampton Crabber Marching Band will be playing our national anthem tonight, and we'll be getting set to hear that shortly. But I guess first things first, they have to continue with their senior night presentation here, as the Kecoughtan Warriors are the home team for tonight's game. And I tell you what I'm just getting ready to talk about that. What a difference in the crowd attendance tonight versus last week when Hampton and Phoebus played to a packed house. Not a lot of folks here tonight. Hopefully these folks are now watching us live on TV, but it would benefit these young men if you were to come out and watch them play live here at Darling Stadium.
And folks, you just saw number 14, Joseph McCalla, and this is Marcus Lopez, number 45. Again, they're watching the seniors being recognized at Kecoughtan High School on senior night. This is their last home football game, and it's against the Hampton High School football team. And you heard Brent and Bob talk earlier, Mike, about the fact that this was one of the early rivalries in the city of Hampton. There's number 11, Hakeem Garner.
The next week, just to give everybody a heads up as far as our schedule is concerned, next week I believe we will be carrying the Bethel Phoebus season finale here at Darling Stadium. That always proves to be a pretty entertaining football game.
Wasn't that I'm getting older as I get older, but wasn't that our opening game for the last 2 years, Bethel and Phoebus?
I'm not real sure at this point because I'm getting older too. That's right.
I'm pretty sure it was.
They'll end the season, the regular season, here on LSC, and we will have that game live here next Friday night at Darling Stadium. Again, that will be the Bethel Bruin Phoebus Phantom game, last game of the year.
And Mike, you mentioned that people are watching this on LSC. You're seeing it on cable channel 48 on Cox and on Verizon channel 22. And we've got a great crew with us tonight on the cameras. We have Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. Our graphics and animation is Andy Foley. The slow motion instant replay, Mike Nowinski. Camera control operator and production and audio assistants, Renee Camden. The auto engineer, Bob Hodges, and director, Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser, Brent Musgrove, and Bob Hintz. We're going to bring you this game live tonight.
All right, let's send it down to the field as the Crabber Band will play our national anthem. We heard that one pretty loud tonight. Sometimes we catch it and sometimes we don't, but kind of went right on cue tonight. It's a good job by the Hampton Band. It's
That really was.
not bad. They are small this year and
They might be small, Mike, but they're good.
played well.
They're good.
We will be giving you our starting lineups, both offensively and defensively, during the beginning of each series of plays here. Also, we'll give you the officials for tonight's game. And we can get Andy down there to put them up on the screen. We'll all go ahead and give you the referees for tonight's game. There they are. It's Alan Denton is our referee tonight. The umpire is Bill Allen. The linesman is Sergio Jimenez. And the line judge is David Greer. The side judge is Rob Callaway, and the field judge is Calvin Hill.
And the line judge is David Gear, not David Greer. I got to meet him earlier today. And, of course, the referee tonight, Alan Denton, I've known him since he was probably 1 or 2 years old. I used to babysit him when he was much, much younger.
1 or 2 years old?
Yes. His dad, of course, William A. Denton, or as everybody knows him, Buddy Denton, one of the longtime baseball coaches at Kecoughtan High School. He's going to do a good job for us tonight. He said he apologized ahead of time if we accidentally hear him on the mic. He said it's a very lightweight mic and it hits anything and it'll come on. So he'll do his best. Good crew tonight there. Very good crew. And hopefully a good game. Not a lot of people here tonight, but the crowd is growing on the Kecoughtan side, and the Hampton side usually, Mike, about the second quarter, that place starts filling up big time. I guess people are out to dinner tonight. It is a nice night. In fact, I can't remember the last time that we've been able to do all of the games without me freezing to death. Think about it.
Don't talk too soon. We still have some more games.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know that, but so far, we just got the news that we might be at Harbor Park again, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's hope not. Anyway, that was, what was that, about 90 degrees below zero?
That was probably one of the worst nights to play a football game that we've had around here in a lot of years.
But we were lucky. Remember, we were upstairs in one of the boxes, and
our camera people down there were absolutely freezing to death.
I felt real bad
with
for
that high wind, and right there on the water over at Harbor Park where we had the Phoebus Phantom game.
Yep.
It was.
But You know what Scotty said? It's their job.
That's right.
It's their job.
So Kecoughtan has won the toss. You elected to defer to the second half. And you all want the football. And you want to, they're going to kick it this way. So Hampton, turn your backs that way. Kecoughtan, turn your backs that way. Hampton will receive on this end of the field.
So
all right, guys.
We will go ahead and get set up to give you a starting lineups now for the offensive side of things for the Hampton Crabbers. As Kecoughtan deferred to the second half, and they will open the game kicking off to the Crabbers.
All right, here is the Crabber offense. The tackles, number 53, Quincy Bethea, and number 65, Derek Adams. The guard, number 70, Trey Banks. The other guard, number 61, Andrew Alston. And the center, number 57, Lydell Washington. The wide receiver, number 15, Jamal Brown. The two wingbacks, number 2, Daquan Charity, along with number 11, Monty Haney. The flex back, number 10, Justin Ricks. In the backfield, two guys to watch. The tailback, number 24, Dion Futch, and the quarterback, number 5, David Watford.
All right, number 31 for the Kecoughtan Warriors, Kyle Lawrence, setting the ball up on the tee now as he will kick off. Standing back down as right in the middle of the field on his 5-yard line, number 24, Dion Futch.
And tonight we have to make sure that we mention Kyle Lawrence's name quite a bit. His mom's doing a great job in the media center at Jones Magnet Middle School, while one of our media center people is out on medical leave. So.
Kick is to the near side at the 11-yard line. Out to the 30, breaks a tackle, and down at the 31-yard line where the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10, running that ball back. Looked like Brian Hawkins, number 22, on the carry. So Hampton 1st and 10 to start off the game here at their own 31-yard line.
And here's the Kecoughtan defense, guys. The nose guard, number 54, Sean Fauntleroy. The tackles, number 55, Justin Washington, and number 49, Xavier Ely. The left linebacker, number 8, Harvey Williams, and the right linebacker, number 11, Hakeem Garner. The roving linebacker, number 25, Brandon Backus, and the bandit linebacker, number 42, Richie Staten. In the secondary, the cornerbacks, number 12, Devontae Williams, and number 2, DePriest Jace. The free safety, number 7, Marcus Hoffler, and the strong safety, number 4, Deshaun Jackson.
And ball's handed off right up the middle to Brian Hawkins. Gain of about 3, maybe 4 on the play to the 35. That will bring up a 2nd down and 6 for the Crabbers.
We're going to see what both teams are going to do in the running department here. You just saw Hampton starting off with the run. I'm curious as to how long it's going to take them before they turn Watford loose. Looks like it might be real soon.
Dion Futch is lining up wide to the left here, and again there's the handoff up the middle to Hawkins. He's going to get outside the 35 to about the 38, where he will be about 3 yards shy of the 1st down.
Simple, basic football right here, kind of feeling each other out. What can you do against my run? Here we go, off tackle, see what we can get. If we can get 2, 3, 4 yards, find out how Kecoughtan is going to play it, how soon they can close the gap, close the hole, and get their corners up front.
3rd down and 3 for the Crabbers. Dion Futch again will line up wide left. Also joining him to the left side is the Crabbers' number 7, who is Jason Mango Graves, one of the leading receivers for the Crabbers. Watford in the shotgun. Carries the ball himself, and he is sacked behind the line of scrimmage by the Warriors. Number 49 on that play, and that's Xavier Ely, and that's going to bring up a loss on the play back to the 35-yard line and make it a 4th down and 6 here.
Look at this. It's like Xavier Ely can't believe he got back there. Nobody touched him. He just came right off the right-hand side, walked right in, and wrapped the runner up. That somebody missed a block.
Number 40, Skylar Hutchinson in punt formation for the Crabbers.
Hutchinson in now to kick the ball away for the Crabbers. Little spiral line drive kick all the way to about the 31-yard line. I thought he went down. As a matter of fact, the official on the far side threw his beanbag to signify where he went down, but they didn't blow it dead.
No, well, yeah, that was interesting because when he caught it, he kind of put the ball down on the ground to steady himself. Watch. Here comes the ball. Now he's got it here, drops it, puts it right down. It's hard to see whether that knee was down or not. Obviously it wasn't. But the ball was right there on the ground.
Aaron Matthews on the carry for the Warriors. 1st and 10 for Kecoughtan at their own 39-yard line, and we'll put up their starting offense for Kecoughtan here after this play. Bailey is the quarterback. Keeps the ball, comes around to the near side, and nothing doing there. The Crabbers had that one covered well, as the tackle, I believe, was number 33, Kecoughtan McCutcheon for the Crabbers.
Yeah, I don't think that the quarterback wanted to keep this ball. Here is the Kecoughtan offense. The left tackle, number 50, Josh Sledge. The left guard, number 57, Rashad Jennings. The center, number 56, Trayvon Webster. The right guard, number 62, Chris Ring. And the right tackle, 68, Dylan Reynolds. The Z receiver, number 2, DePriest Jace. The X receiver, number 10, Tamel Payton. The Y wingback, number 6, Mike McClary. And the other wingback, number 23, Adrian Pope. The fullback, number 32, Melton Reeves. And the quarterback, number 9, Bruce Bailey. I was getting ready to say on that last play, Mike, it didn't look like Bailey really wanted to do that play. It looked like he was trying to hand off, and Hampton got in there and just swallowed both attempted ball carriers in the backfield.
The pitch out went to McClary, number 6, and he will lose a couple of yards back to the 35. We're going to call it 3rd down and 14 now for the Warriors.
And there's Bailey right there talking to the coach, trying to figure out something that's going to work here on their first set of plays.
And after this next play, we'll give you the Crabbers defense.
I know.
3rd down and 14 for Kecoughtan. Back to pass. He's hit by the Crabber lineman. It looked like might have been 42 that penetrated through.
And here is the Hampton defense. The guards, number 67, Alonzo Towns, and number 75, Kimbrough Parker. The tackles, number 32, Dallas Coddell, and number 68, Chris Tarrant. The linebackers, number 41, Tyrell Miller, and 65, Derek Adams. The defensive ends, number 8, Matt Cass, and number 42, Khalik Payne. The cornerbacks, number 10, Justin Ricks, along with number 81, Desmond Jenneret, and the safety, number 24, Dion Futch.
And that's Dion Futch back at his own 30 now as he gets set to receive the Kecoughtan punt. Another line drive kick hit short of Futch. He takes it. Oh, what a move. Still on his feet, but down he goes at the 25-yard line. Good pursuit by the Warriors. He did a good job spinning out of that first wave of tacklers coming in there.
First 2, actually. It looked like he might get away there. Watch this punch, a little short, bounces right to him. He takes, now watch this spin right there, just sneaks right through again. And looked for a minute like he was going to get out there, but as Mike said, good pursuit on the Warriors was able to stop that play.
So neither offense was able to gather a first down on their first series, as the Crabbers will take over for their second series now. 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line is where they spot it.
There we had a quick equipment adjustment on the field.
3 wideouts again, all to the far side with Dion Futch all the way near the sideline. Watford in the shotgun again. This time Watford on a keeper. Nothing going there as he's swallowed up right up the middle there by number 50. Is it 54?
Sean
Fauntleroy. And nothing going there as the size of Fauntleroy was able to get through that line in a hurry.
Sean Fauntleroy is a junior, 5'10", nose guard, 290 pounds. He just went right there. And as Brent said during the pregame, this Kecoughtan Warrior 3-man front is packing some size coming up against these Hampton Crabbers tonight.
Loss of a yard on the play back to the 25. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 11 for the Crabbers. Dion Futch to the near side. Alongside him is Dion Newsom, number 23. 2 wideouts to the far side along Jason Menango Graves is one of them. And I believe there is a flag.
Dead ball, delay a game on the offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
That was a fast one.
Yes, it was.
5-yard penalty puts it back at the 20. That'll make it 2nd down now, 16 for the Crabbers.
Look.
Yeah.
Somebody came prepared there.
Back to pass over the middle, wide open to Funch at the 35-yard line. Near a first down. He will be, well, let's see where they mark it. They're going to mark it near the 36. That's a good spot right there. So he's close to a first down. We'll have to wait and see where they set the ball down.
That was a nice catch. As you watch it on the replay here, he looked just like Melky Cabrera in center field. He's coming to a slide to scoop that ball.
The Crabbers are given the first down right there at the 36-yard line. Nice pass. So Watford over the middle for a 16-yard pass and a first down for the Crabbers. Ball sits at the Hampton 36-yard line. Watford again in the shotgun. Hands the ball off to the first back through the line. Hawkins not much there as he will lose about a yard back to the 35-yard line. There's a shot of the Kecoughtan kicker, Kyle Lawrence.
John Green, the ex-baseball coach who's been helping out with the football team for many years now.
Loss of about a yard. Second down and 11 now as the ball sits at the Hampton 35. 3 wide out, split to the right side of the ball this time. Watford again in the shotgun. There goes Dion Futch in motion. Back to pass is Wofford, being flushed out of the pocket. Gets away from 2 tacklers. Nice pass is completed out inside of Kecoughtan territory to Jason Menango Graves. And that's good for a Crabber first down to the Kecoughtan 49-yard line.
One grab away from a big loss as Wofford is able to slip out of the hands of a would-be tackler. And then more importantly, he finds a receiver. Now, these receivers were pretty well covered there for a while. But as you know, when a quarterback gets in trouble, you're running to the quarterback. And Wofford was able to hook up with a receiver for a nice little gain there. Here's a Kecoughtan crowd over there. And there is Miss Felix on the left there right in the middle of your screen with her husband. She's a teacher, math teacher, in fact, at Jones Magna Middle School.
Handed off to Futch as he gets around the left side. Picks up some pretty good yards out near the Kecoughtan 40-yard line. And pretty hard tumble out of bounds there as his players go running to his help. And let's see where they end up marking the ball.
Watch this. Dion Futch just seems to go and go and go and go, and he keeps picking up yardage.
Forced out of bounds by number 2, Jason DePriest for Kecoughtan. Second down after a gain of about 7. We'll call it second down and 3 for the Crabbers. Ball sits at Kecoughtan 42-yard line.
Futch makes it look so easy, and guys, football, of course, obviously is not that easy, or everybody'd be playing it. He's just so good that he makes it look easy.
He looks like he's pretty much recovered from that sprained ankle.
Thank goodness.
And Hawkins off the left side this time as he gets near the 41. Looks like they might give it to him to the 40, so he will be about a yard shy. We'll call it 3rd and 1 for Hampton.
Kecoughtan is going to have to wrap up the runners here. Once again, you had a Hampton runner go right into a tackler and just shook himself away from him and picked up 4 more yards. It should have been a tackle 4 yards sooner than where he was brought down.
So far, the Crabbers are utilizing their speed, but they're going up the middle instead of around them. There's Hawkins again, breaks the tackle, gets about 7 yards on the play down to the Kecoughtan 34-yard line. We'll mark it at the 33, and that's good enough for another Crabber first down as Hampton now is marching left to right as you see them on the screen.
Well, they found something on that left-hand side, and they're working on it. And that's twice now that they've broken tackles that should have been made by the Kecoughtan defense. And if it continues in that aspect, Hampton is going to continue to eat up yardage all the way to the goal.
3 wideouts again to the near side. Hawkins behind Watford, attempting to try to draw the Warriors offside. Didn't work. The Kecoughtan players held their ground. There's Hawkins off the left again. Looks like he's close to about a 5-yard gain down inside the 30-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry, and that'll be a 2nd down and 5. And we talked a little while ago about the fact that they're trying to exploit the left side of the offensive side of the field for the Hampton, and seems to be doing quite well with it right now.
Yeah, Bob, I don't know whether you can hear me, but what's going down over on the left-hand side of the Warrior defense there? They're breaking down over there. Is there anything you can see?
No, guys, the Kecoughtan is they're stunning. They do a lot of stunning, and sometimes you catch them in the wrong stunt, and that allows that runner to get a seam.
There was a pass that was over the middle of the field.
Hey, fellas, you were talking about the beanbag, Mike. When he threw the beanbag down on that punt, that's to let them know where the ball was caught. His knee never went down. That was just to let him know where the ball was caught.
And we watched the replay, and it was really hard to tell up here, you know, whether his knee went down or not.
No, I was watching. Yeah,
okay.
Good point. You know, usually they'll throw the beanbag though. Normally, it's when they have a fumble.
Yeah.
So they do that occasionally when they so they'll know where the punt was caught.
Well, that was Watford's first incomplete pass of the game so far. Incomplete pass will give us 3rd down and 5 for the Crabbers.
Now, guys,
split backfield with Futch going in motion.
I'm not sure, but was that Coach Tidwell's wife and child? Might have been. I apologize if it wasn't.
Look here, look here.
He got it. He got it.
Good tell. Touchdown Crabbers. As the pass from Watford to number 7, Jason Menango Graves, as the Crabbers strike first here in the first quarter. Is there a flag on the play?
No, I don't see any flag out here.
We have a sideline warning against Hampton. We still have a touchdown.
All right, the touchdown, the reason they got that touchdown that time, guys, is Wofford was wrapped up and got away, and just because of his strength and his scrambling ability, make that throw.
Well, that's several times, though, Bob, that ball carriers for Hampton and quarterbacks for Hampton have been in the arms of the Kecoughtan defense, and the Warriors have not been able to pull them down.
Number 8, Matt Cass, now in to kick the extra point for the Crabbers. There's the kick. It's up. It's long enough, and it is good. So the Crabbers, we had to sit there and wait for the officials to call it. The Crabbers with 3:03 to go here in the opening period of play strike first, and they lead the Kecoughtan Warriors by a score of 7-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC live October the 30th, 2009, coming to you from Darling Stadium as we watch that replay where Wofford gets out of the grasp of another would-be Warrior tackler and is able to complete the pass upfield to Jason Menango Graves. Menango.
We get Brent to tell us how many total yards that pass was good for.
Enough to be a touchdown.
29-yard touchdown pass to Menango Graves.
Menango. He's got to be related to Bill Menango or William Menango.
And let's see, we're going to have number 40, Skylar Hutchinson, now teeing it up for the Crabbers at the 40 to kick it off.
Hutchinson sure had a good game last week, didn't he?
He did a good job with the kicking game. Aaron Matthews, the Warrior receiver, standing back in the middle of the field at his own 7-yard line. Now he moves up to the 10, and here comes the kickoff by Hutchinson. And a little squibber taken at about the 18-yard line, and a nice run back all the way out to the Kecoughtan 38-yard line. Number 32 on the carry that time, and that is Malcolm Reeves, their running back. So he got it in the right hands that time for Kecoughtan as he kicks the ball out to the Kecoughtan 38-yard line. 1st and 10 Kecoughtan.
Hey, Mike, they're kicking into kind of a stiff wind. It's about a 15-mile-an-hour with gusts maybe up to 20, 25 miles, and that's probably why Skylar Hutchinson kicked that ball low.
And for those fans that don't know it, Bob Hintz, a part-time weatherman and meteorologist.
Oh, Paul, you're in trouble, Paul. Hampton got it.
Looks to me like the Crabbers have got the fumble, and they do. Looks like recovering the fumble for the Crabbers. Is that number 20?
I'm not sure
Kevin
it was number
Bellamy.
20 or 68.
I believe it was number 20 that handed the ball to the official.
There were 3 guys that had their shot at that ball for the Crabbers, so they were going to come up with
number 58 or 68. Nope, he messed up.
The ball's still sitting there. Nobody has the ball.
There it is.
And there he is right there coming in there. That was number 20. And that was a little unusual looking. Looked like there was two Crabbers sitting on the ground waiting to pick it up, and it kind of just slid out from under him.
Well, 68, Chris Durant had the ball right in his arms and just kind of, like you said, just kind of squeezed right out of his side there. But good break right here for the Hampton Crabbers.
1st and 10 from the Kecoughtan 36-yard line. Hawkins on the carry up the middle. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward for about a yard on the play. Looks like the Warriors number 25 on a tackle is Brandon Backus.
Hey, I kind of expected Mike to go for the bomb right there. I was very surprised just running that running play, because you catch the team, a defense that turned the ball over and kind of back on their heels. That'd been a good time to go for the juggler.
Would have, but you know how Mike is. You get that running game pounding, and he thinks he's got that one going. And obviously, from what we're seeing up here, he does. Just wear him down a little bit more, and then like he did last time, Bob, he'll hit him all of a sudden, and boom.
There's a flag on the play again. It looks like somebody on Hampton's offensive line may have moved, as they're already moving.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, still 2nd down.
Hey, that was a good point up there that you just made, Paul, that he will run the ball, suck those linebackers in a little bit, and then he'll pass that ball.
Yeah, that's what he did last time.
See if you can watch it. It looked like somebody on Kecoughtan pointed at the interior line.
I never saw anybody on Hampton's team actually move.
Trying to see who it was, and I saw a bunch of Kecoughtan players pointing. So, and
well,
again, we're not down there.
Hey, if it's in a three-point stance and he comes out of the three-point stance, that's movement. So he doesn't have to move.
There's a keeper up the middle by Watford. Good yardage here. Uh-oh. Fumble the ball. Who's got it?
Kecoughtan.
Looks like the Warriors have recovered the fumble. Nice run by Watford, but he was stripped. As Kecoughtan will recover the fumble at their own 31-yard line, and they will take it right there, 1st and 10.
Well, you guys got that on replay, but it looked like to me that he was trying to change the ball from one hand to the other and just lost it.
Actually, number 8 on the play, and that's Harvey Williams, actually stripped the ball from his arms as Watford was running by him. He reaches out and pulls it right out of his arms.
And then number 7, Marcus Hoffler, was quick enough to get right on that ball and pick it up.
So Kecoughtan gets the ball back and turns right around and fumbles it back to Hampton. So that's actually 3 plays and 3 fumbles almost in succession.
That's number 37 got the ball that time, guys.
My goodness gracious, as the Crabbers will get the ball back, 1st and 10 after the fumble again by Bruce Bailey. That's 2 of them.
I don't know
now.
whether he is or not. Might be a cousin or something. But what happened on that fumble that time is the quarterback, Bailey, put the ball into the fullback, and then as he pulled it back out, he lost it.
That's exactly what he did on the last play. So that's 2 fumbles now for Kecoughtan, 1 turnover for the Crabbers. Here is the replay. And sure enough, that's what he did.
Looks like the Crabber had his hands into that handoff, too.
So Watford has the Crabbers going again here, 1st and 10, and this is the same play, but nothing doing there, as Kecoughtan's defense just swallowed them up, and Watford is sacked for about a 4-yard loss back to the 34-yard line.
That's what you call a jailbreak.
Yeah.
Now let's see, they're going to make it about a 5-yard loss on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 15 for the Crabbers.
That was right. That was right.
Some of our folks that came out to watch the game tonight.
Hey, fellas, I got a treat for you at halftime.
What kind of candy you bringing up here?
Not till tomorrow. Tomorrow's Halloween.
Not that kind of treat. A treat for the fans.
All righty. Here we go, 2nd down and 15. There is a flag, and it looks like the Crabbers are going to get hit with another delay of game. That's already 4 penalties.
Dead ball, delay a game on the offense, 5 yards, 2nd down.
So 2nd down and 20 now for the Crabbers as it's moved back to the 38-yard line. 42 seconds to go here in the 1st quarter play. Hampton out in front by a score of 7-0 on a 29-yard pass from David Watford to Menango Graves.
Menango.
Menango.
We're going to have speech lesson tonight.
Go.
I'm glad we got a speech teacher up there. Thanks, Paul.
Now, let's be nice.
I'm working with him.
Let's be nice. I'll just call the young man Jason.
There you go. Find an easy way to do it, Mike. That's what I used to do.
Nice defensive play that time by the Warriors. Is it number 55?
That was number 55 on the takedown, Justin Washington, 6'1", 300-pound junior.
Back to the
Defensive
line of
tackle.
scrimmage. That's about it. But we're going to have a 3rd down and 20 now, and the Crabbers are very slow right now getting the play in there.
Well, they're going to wait for the end of the quarter, guys.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
way
that's
is
what
the
it
wind
is.
blowing, Bob?
It's blowing from your right to your left as you're looking on the field.
So the
So that would
Crabbers
make
will have
sense.
the wind at their back
Yeah.
as we get ready to start the 2nd quarter play. So we're at the end of 1. The Hampton Crabbers out in front of the score, 7-0 over Kecoughtan.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC, the local sports channel, coming to you live on Friday night, October the 30th. And coming up is the 2nd quarter, and the 2nd quarter of this game is sponsored by Beach Hardware. Located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center, Beach Hardware is the place for all your hard-to-find hardware needs, including electrical, plumbing, and painting. And by Zooms, with great service and convenient locations throughout the peninsula that can save you time and money. And by Kelly's Tavern, family dining and delicious food. I know, I've been there. Join them for lunch or dinner at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, or on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Call David Chubb or Terry McNamara at 594-0411. And personally, I'd like to take this time to thank Tidewater Team Sports for donating the team player shirts that we give to them when Mike and I pick a player of the game. And Tidewater Team Sports for years has been the sponsor for that particular award.
They've been doing it since 1988.
Yeah, and when you go in there, folks, let them know that you watch LSC. Let them know that you're watching football with local sports channel.
Uh-oh, look out. Here goes Fudge all the way in for the score. What a play. A little screen pass off to the right as Watford hit Dion Fudge for a, looks like it might have been about a 38-yard touchdown score.
Now, Mike, watch this. He makes this look so easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Runs by 4 guys who never put a hand on him. And he just cruises right into the end zone. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching Peninsula District football at all this year, you're well aware of Dion Futch, and you're well aware of his skills and his speed and his abilities. And he just showed it to you right there.
There's Skylar Hutchinson's extra point. It's up, and it is good. 11:49 to go here in the 2nd period of play. The Crabbers now out in front, 14-0. 2 touchdown passes for David Watford tonight.
In a matter of a short period of time.
Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe and the rest of the crew here at LSC. Down on the sidelines, we got Bob Hintz, as we will hear him occasionally throughout the game.
Here we'll see this touchdown pass again. Look at this. Boom, 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 right through them all. And right here, he knows he's got it, and he even slows up because he knows there's nobody going to catch it.
Well, fellas, that's what you want to do when you're a coach. You tell you guys, when you get a turnover, then make them pay for it. And Hampton did that time. Even though it took them 2 turnovers to get it done, they did get it done.
That's right. Get her done, right?
Get her done.
Well, it's a big psychological effect, too, when your offense can do that to the other team's defense. It kind of makes your defense realize that if they can get the ball back again another time, your offense is going to capitalize on it.
Well, now that the Crabbers have the wind at their back, let's see if Hutchinson actually kicks the ball off, because he does have a foot. Oh, and he slips and falls, so little squibber up the middle. And it is fumbled right there at the 22-yard line and then picked back up again, but not a lot there, as it looks like the Kecoughtan Warriors will get the ball out to their own 25-yard line. As we saw there that Skylar Hutchinson just fell down as he was kicking it. Watch
he
this.
was going to put that ball in the end zone, and his foot went out from under him,
Yeah.
as you guys saw up there. And that's kind of embarrassing for a kicker to do that.
It is. Now watch the Crabbers right here on the replays. They realize that they've got a good chance of getting this runner. They feast on him right here.
Yeah, that was Aaron Matthews for the Warriors on the carry. Picks up maybe 5 yards on the return. 1st and 10, Kecoughtan at their own 25-yard line. Bruce Bailey, the quarterback. As he hands the ball off to Kecoughtan, let's see, to Jace DePriest. Nothing there, as he will lose about a yard on the play, as the Crabbers did a good job pursuing that one.
They did. Number 20, Kayvon Bellamy, along with number 55, Terrence Mack, smelled that play right out.
Well, you noticed that time, guys, excuse me to interrupt you, but you noticed that time Bailey was not under the center. It was almost like a short punt or even a shotgun formation.
It was, and it was not, I don't know whether you can see it from there, Bob, but it was not a very well coordinated handoff. Bailey was moving to his right.
Actually,
like
Bailey
he was trying
is
to
now
catch up to the
Bailey is now wide out to the left now, as the quarterback, and now is Matthews, number 1. And not a lot there either, as the Crabbers had that one pretty well defensed.
Well, that's a little bit of that wildcat that they're talking about. You put a running back there, almost like the old single wing.
Right.
Direct snap to a running back and let him find a hole and go. And maybe that's what they're going to try to do, because they're sure not getting much yardage just running the ball up the middle against this Crabber team.
Well, Matthews will pick up a yard on the play and get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a 3rd down and 9. It looks like Bailey is back under center now. And behind him is the running back, and that's Malcolm Reeves. We haven't heard much from him yet tonight. There's a pass over the middle, wide open, and he drops the ball.
Ooh.
Intended for, I believe, number 2, Jace DePriest, as it goes right through his arm.
That was a well-thrown pass. From down here, you can see the young man breaking open.
Yeah, it was almost a perfect pass, Bob. As we watch it on replay here, he sets it right in his arms.
He tried to cradle that with his body instead of catching it with his hands, and that's what hurt him.
And he threw that into triple coverage, and he just threaded the needle on that one.
Yeah, good point, Mike.
Dion Fudge all the way back at his own 42-yard line, awaiting the punt now from the Warriors, number 31, Kyle Lawrence. Here's the punt. Nice spiral to the far side of the field, as the Crabbers will let it bounce and be dead right there at the Hampton 43-yard line. So Hampton will take over 1st and 10 with exactly 10 minutes to go here before halftime, already out in front by a score of 14-0.
Here's the punt. Not bad, but it looks like it gets stopped right there.
It almost looks like the wind just killed it right in the middle of the air, because he looked like he kicked the ball quite well until that wind grabbed it.
Mike, I think what he's trying to do is kick it away from Fudge.
Well, there's
they don't
no
want
doubt
him to get the ball.
There's no doubt about that.
Not a bad idea.
It was real obvious up here that the wind grabbed hold of that one. 1st and 10, Hampton at their own 44-yard line, already out in front, 14-0, with exactly 10 minutes to go here in the 2nd quarter of play.
You're watching LSC, October the 30th, 2009, from Darling Stadium.
3 wide outs to the near side, as the Crabbers will start here. And hands the ball off up the middle to, like it's Hawkins, number 22. Gain of maybe a yard on the play, and that's about it. To the 45. 2nd down and 9.
Hawkins just lowered his head on that one and tried to pick up whatever he could in scratch, and he got about 2 yards. See some of the Warrior cheerleaders on the sideline there.
A whole new set of receivers coming to the game for the Crabbers now. They broke the huddle with 12 players, too. As one runs off the field. Hands the ball off again up the middle. This time it looks like it's handed off to Daquan Charity, number 2, as he gets down out near the 47-yard line, gain of maybe 2 on the play. We'll call it 3rd down and 7 now for the Crabbers, as they are in 3rd down and long again here.
Again, just a Mike Smith straight run. Let's see what I can get out of this. Wear him down in the middle and see if I can open him up. A good time to go right over top those linebackers here.
Juan Moore now in the game as a wide out for the Crabbers. And again, Dion Fudge is to the near side. Watford back in the shotgun. Back to pass. This time he runs up the middle, wide open. Nobody there. Breaks a tackle And it's finally pulled down by the Warriors' number 1, Aaron Matthews, all the way down to the Kecoughtan 41-yard line.
Mike, that was a designed quarterback draw, design play.
And did the offensive line open up a hole on that one?
Yes, they did. If he'd have cut right here, he may have been able to go all the way.
Mr. Watford's having a great game so far tonight, guys. 1st and 10, Hampton at the Kecoughtan 21-yard line. Again, in the shotgun, 2 wideouts on either side. Hands the ball off to the back, and I believe not much there as I think the ball was handed off to Daquan Charity, number 2.
It was.
Mike, that was
lose.
just a real late handoff. By
Yes.
the time he's handing the ball up, Kecoughtan was in the backfield.
Yeah, loss of almost 3 on the play.
It looks like he kind of mishandled it there right before he gave it to him, but give the credit to the Warrior defense. They had the Crabber O-line on their heels pushing back, so they were able to get in there quick.
2nd down and 13 now for Hampton as the ball sits at the Kecoughtan 24-yard line. Watford now under center, split backs in the backfield, 3 wideouts. There's that little screen pass to the Funch. He breaks the tackle, but the defense on the play number 4 for Kecoughtan, Deshaun Jackson, did a good job holding on there, and not much there for the Crabbers as they're going to lose a couple yards on the play.
Jackson stayed home and came right in to snuff that play. He wasn't letting anybody go anywhere. He got hold of Funch's leg and stayed right on him.
Well, they were looking for it this time. That last one went for 38 yards and a score.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen again.
So here we go, 3rd down and about 15 for the Crabbers. Ball sits at the Kecoughtan 26-yard line. As the Crabbers, looks like Mike Smith calls a timeout now, so he wants to have a chit-chat here. So with timeout, 6:38 to go here in the 3rd quarter, Hampton out front, 14-0. 2nd quarter of play here at Darling Stadium.
On October the 30th, one day before Halloween, the year 2009, the place, Darling Stadium, as Mike just said, where we watch great football every Friday night here in the Peninsula District. We see football between Hampton, Bethel, Kecoughtan, and Phoebus. Guys, you've got to just watch us and see some great games.
And see some great athletes. There's great athletes on this peninsula.
Well, that would only be offside right there if he actually got into the neutral zone. Defensive players can. The defensive players can get out of that 3-point stance. The offensive players can't. And the difference in the offside or encroachment on the defense between high school and college ball is in college you're allowed to jump across the line and come back as long as they don't make contact before the ball snaps. Not in high school. Oh, nice pass over the middle, and it's completed to number 1, Daquan Moore, all the way down near the 5-yard line. And again, Watford on target, this time 1st and 10 at the 6. They make it 1st and goal at the 6.
1,078 yards so far this season, and Wofford is really throwing some sharp passes tonight and taking advantage of everything he can get, and they're getting it.
Well,
There's Freddie Eubank on the right with the red hat there, played for Kecoughtan High School, a great athlete. He played baseball, he played football, he still plays ball. And Scotty's saying he looks like just like he did in elementary school, and he does. He's a great guy.
Did he have that mustache in high school?
He could have. He could have.
Goodness gracious. Hand the ball off to the Crabbers, number 22, up the middle, Brian Hawkins. Not much there as he gets maybe a yard to the 5. 2nd and goal now for the Crabbers.
Funny thing was, Freddie looked like he was alone tonight, and he's always got somebody with him.
Well, there was a couple of people sitting next to him, so I would say he's not alone.
Yeah, well, he's usually got a couple guys I know with him, but his son played football here too, of course, little Freddie.
2nd and goal at the 5. Under center now is Watford as he fakes a handoff and carries it around the left side, breaks the tackle down inside near the 2. Good defensive play that time, keeping Watford out of the end zone. That'll bring up third down in about a yard and a half.
Yeah, watch Marcus Hoffler right here, number 7. Just hits him straight up to keep him from being able to fall into the end zone, because another half step or a step, and Watford was going to be falling in the end zone. Good play by number 7, Marcus Hoffler, the 6'1", 175-pound junior from Kecoughtan High School.
The third down and goal at the 2 is where they spot the ball.
Well, it looks like so
there's
far,
some
Mike,
confusion here, and the Crabbers are going to have to call another timeout. So that's their second timeout here in this drive. With 4:44 to go, as the Crabbers threaten here to score again in the second quarter as they lead 14-0.
Well, you mentioned the confusion here, but I was about ready to say they're looking a whole lot better than they did last week against Phoebus. This offense is moving up and down the field. Of course, they're being helped by some great turnovers from their defense, but last week that offense was not working.
One of the things that I see differently with the offense this week and compared to last week is when David Watford has had a chance to throw the ball tonight, he's been right dead on target.
Yes, he has.
I believe he's only got one incompleted pass. And it's going to be real interesting to see what his stats are for the halftime tonight.
Well, we got a second here just in case Conky Sorrell is watching. Conky, happy birthday, buddy. 80 years old. You're catching up with Bob Hintz. I'll tell you that right now. You got about 10 more years to go, but you'll be there.
Wait a minute. Now, wait a minute. He does shoot his age. He does shoot his age. So
yes,
when he plays golf, he shoots his age. And he's got me by a couple years, but not many. You know, just right up there with you and me, Paul.
Yes, he is. He is. He's been around for a long time. I love him to death. Just a great guy, as you well know. Here's Wofford taking the ball on a play action as he fakes the handoff, pulls it off, and just kind of struts right around the left-hand side. In for the score. 4:40 here in the second quarter. Hampton puts 6 more on the board as you see him put it and take it away, and nobody there to stop him. Wofford in for the touchdown, Mike.
And this time it looks like Matt Cass will try for the extra point as they're flip-flopping on each score as to who's going to kick, and I don't understand that, but kicks up, and it is good.
And the kick is good.
21-0 Hampton now on a 2-yard scamper by Watford with 4:40 to go here in the second quarter of play.
Once again, you're watching us live, ladies and gentlemen, from Darling Stadium, October the 30th, 2009. I'm Paul Rowe, along with Mike Hauser, Bob Hintz, Brett Musgrove in the booth, and a great crew out in the stadium.
Don't forget, we will be picking player of the games for both teams tonight. As right now, Mr. Watford is all everything in this game.
He is that. He is all everything and then some. Folks, if you're enjoying this game tonight, you like watching football, and you don't mind watching the same game over and over again, even though this one's coming to you live Saturday, October the 31st, which, of course, is tomorrow, we'll be rebroadcasting this game at 7 p.m., and then on Tuesday, November the 3rd at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., and Thursday, November the 5th at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So if you enjoy this, well, turn it on at that time and you'll be able to see it. And please remember, we are on Cox Channel 48 and Verizon Fios Channel 22, and we're on the internet. Just go to the Hampton City Schools station and look for WHCS and find LSC.
Nice kickoff this time by Hutchinson all the way down near the 1-yard line, as looks like Aaron Matthews for Kecoughtan will take it there and carry the ball out to about the 19, give them 18 yards on the return, where the Kecoughtan Warriors will take over 1st and 10. Stay tuned for halftime, as we will have a special guest with Bob down there, and then we will be showing the Kecoughtan band here at the half tonight, live.
Kecoughtan, speaking of them, has got to get something going here. I know there's only 4 minutes and 33 seconds left in the half, but they need to get some sort of a sustained offensive drive. They have not been clicking on all cylinders.
I'm not sure. Have they got a first down in the first half?
I don't know.
We'll have to get
We'll find out from Brent here in just a moment.
There's a handoff up the middle this time to their running back number 32, Malcolm Reeves. Haven't really called his name much tonight, as he's going to pick up about 2 yards on the play. Make it 2nd down and 8 now as the ball sits at the 21-yard line. And Reeves, we talked a little bit about him in the pregame, as he is their main ball carrier, and he's not doing much.
No, he's got 85 touches for 465 yards this year, and tonight just nothing at all. And what did Brent just say?
No first downs
no
for
first
Kecoughtan
downs
so far here in the first half. So Hampton's defense is really come up big here tonight, as they played pretty well last week against that powerful Phoebus team. Again, there's a handoff up the middle to Reeves. Not much there. He might pick up a yard. Let's see, he gets out to about the 23-yard line, so that'll bring up a 3rd and long now for Kecoughtan.
It appears, Mike, that the Crabber front line is really holding its own against the Warrior offensive line, and they're standing everybody up, which gives the linebackers and the cornerbacks plenty of time to get up there and stop the running game.
Well, you know, everybody knows that Hampton plays as wide tackle 6.
Yeah.
They put everybody on the line to stop the run. So what would you think you would want to try to do to open it?
Pass. But again,
and the one time they did pass the ball, they hit the player right in his hands, you know. And unfortunately, it wasn't good. There's the pass this time to the near side to number 23. This time, that's Adrian Pope. He gets to about the 25-yard line, but the Crabbers had that one set up really well.
Yeah, well, again, that's a pass and run. I don't consider that a pass. That's a pass and run, and that's just going nowhere against this defense tonight. Watch. He just throws it out to the side, and look, they got 2 Crabbers right there and 2 that join him with a matter of a split second.
I'll tell you what, they actually gave him a yard more than where he was tackled at. So, I don't believe he got that far, but it's 4th down and 4 now as the Warriors will punt the ball away as Carl Lawrence stands back there. Dion Futch is all the way back at his 43-yard line.
Miss Lawrence, there's your boy right there getting ready to kick this ball. We'll talk to you.
Trying to keep the ball away from Dion, and nice punt. Catches the ball, and number 4, Johnny on the spot. That's Deshaun Jackson. Hits the Crabber as he catches the ball. Great special team play that time by the Kecoughtan Warriors.
That's called great timing there. He just goes down, and watch this. He waits. Boom.
Boy, I tell you what, that was that close to hitting him before the ball got there.
Nah.
What do you think about
watch this.
fair catch? You think a fair catch would have been right there?
You think? But I can tell you right now, if the ball's coming to Dion Fudge, he's not going to call a fair catch. He's going to try to run it. He has that breakability speed, and he can really get away from him.
Yeah, he just needs to be careful not to hurt his leg or ankle.
His ankle, yeah. Good defensive play that time. The ball is down on the ground as it looks like the Crabbers fumbled the ball in the play as the ball was pulled out of his arms as he was running up the middle, and looks like Kecoughtan has it.
Yep, they do. We're not sure who ended up with that ball. Here you can see the loose ball. And there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Warriors right in the area.
So Watford loses ball again, and Kecoughtan takes over this time. 1st and 10 inside of Hampton territory at the Crabber 43-yard line.
Well, I tell you,
here's where they got to take advantage of it.
You know, what else can you say? You got to put it. You got to go up top here. You got to go up top.
Back to pass. Bailey. He's hit as he lets it go. Wide open over the middle. Oh, what a hit.
Once again, a great pass by Bailey. He puts it right in the hands of the receiver. But look at the defensive hit.
Watch the hit.
You ought to have heard it down here, fellas.
Right there, and that's who?
Oh, 24, Dion. Oh, my. What a bone crusher that was. It was right in his hands. It was a perfect pass. And the hit knocked it loose.
I guess that counteracts when he got hit a few minutes ago on the punt.
Man.
Payback, guys.
Yeah.
It's called payback.
That's right. 2nd down and 10 now for Kecoughtan.
Still got to go up top, guys. Still got to go there.
And flushed out of the pocket. Got a lot of room to the left.
Got to get outside.
All the way down inside the Crabber 30-yard line to about the Hampton 27, and that is Kecoughtan's initial 1st down here in the game with 143 to go in the second quarter.
He gives the pump, realizes he doesn't have an opener there, and gets to his left where he's got plenty of room. But again, that swarming Crabber defense recollects itself and plugs the gap.
1st and 10 now for Kecoughtan at the Crabber 27-yard line. I'll get it right. Setting themselves up for another pass. Back to pass again. Bailey over the middle. And that is a little bit short as it's thrown to the near side 20-yard line. And it is incomplete. And that will bring up a second down. And it looks like there is a flag down near where the quarterback threw the ball.
There you see the replay.
Let's see what the
ball's just a little short.
Do what Mr. Denton has to say.
Personal foul, 15-yard face mask on the defense. First down.
Well, they pick up another first down, this time on a penalty. Let's see what happens. See if we can pick it up here in the replay.
I'm going to use my eagle eyes here. You better put on your glasses. Let's see.
Right there. There it is, right in the middle of the screen. Boom. He's almost pulling his head straight back.
Yeah, he is.
Personal foul, 15-yard face mask, half the distance to the goal line.
And
first
I believe
down.
15-yard penalty on that is an intentional.
So Kecoughtan picks up another first down via a penalty this time. It'll be first down and 10 with the ball sits as they pick it up and move it again. This time it's set down at the 12-yard line. And it looks like Kecoughtan will call their first time out here in the first half. They still have 2 remaining in the last minute, 16 seconds to go here before halftime as the Warriors trail the Crabbers 21-0.
Tell you what, if they'd been catching these balls that are being thrown out there, the Warriors would be making a big dent in this game.
Well, let's if we can take a look back at that last throw that ended up was completed but was jarred out with that hit. I think the ball it almost looked as though the ball was floating a little bit too long. It might have got caught in that wind, and that gave the Crabber defense enough time to get back on the play. Watch it. See how it died a little bit as it was going in the air, and it allowed the Crabbers defense time to get to the receiver. But what a hit that Deion Funch made.
Well, what many people don't see, and I just picked it up right there, when Deion Funch hit the runner, his left elbow was actually hitting the ball. He was hitting the runner, but he was hitting at the ball, and that jarred it loose. Good play by Deion Funch. He could have wrapped him up for the tackle, but he hits him hard, and by doing it that way, he jars the ball loose.
So the Warriors with 1 minute and 16 seconds here to go in the second quarter have the ball 1st and 10 at the Hampton 12-yard line, and this is their first trip into the red zone, so to speak. Bailey back, fakes a pass, takes the ball up the middle to about the 10-yard line, and down he goes as he is tackled on the play by the Crabbers. Number 11 on the play, and that's Monty Haney. That's the first time we've called his name tonight, and he's
where's he been?
He was an instrumental defensive player against Phoebus last week, believe me. As it looks like the Warriors will call their second time out of the first half. That'll leave each team now with 1 to go, and a minute and 2 seconds to go here. Nice
America's Got Talent.
Once again, a reminder, all parents.
Well, that looks like Karen Mason up there right under the clock, 102. Karen Mason, a graduate of Kecoughtan High School a few years back, a dance instructor for many years with 3 of the loveliest daughters you would ever meet, and a fine, fine husband, Steve Mason. He was a great kid in high school and an even better young man today. Snap out of it, you're okay. Just Mike is zoned out up here.
What a wonderful evening. It's just going to be a good game.
And it is a good game.
102 to go here before halftime as the Warriors come back out on the field as they get set to go here. 2nd down and 8. Ball sits at the Crabber 10. They can get a first down without scoring, but they are running kind of short on time now. They're down to 1 minute and 2 seconds. Bailey back behind center, back to throw a little screen pass out here. And that is completed to the running back, number 32, Malcolm Reeves.
And he did not get out of bounds, so they're going to have to hurry up on this.
Like he might be a little shaken up here, too. Let's see.
Nice little swing pass. He gets over to the side, gets hit at the bottom on his leg.
Yeah, Kevin Bellamy on the stop for the Crabbers, as it will bring up a 3rd down and about a long 2 now as the ball sits at the Crabber 5. So the Warriors trying to get something going here as the clock continues to run now. Reese on the carry up the middle, inside the 1. It looks like he fumbled the ball. Let's see what they do with it.
It's his. He still got it. Good camera shot right here. Showed him all the way. He just kind of slid it down. But, you know,
he's inside the 1, and
a lot
it's
of
a first
time
down.
Goes off here. A lot of time.
Well, they're inside the, looks like they're inside the 1-yard line, and it's 1st and goal as Kecoughtan will call their last time out here, as we're down to 15 seconds to go, and the Crabbers still out in front 21-0 as it looks like they're going to have time for maybe one play with no timeouts left. That kind of limits.
If you look up there on the right-hand side, Malcolm Reeves is moving back and forth, back and forth. He got shook up a little bit on that last play, too.
And that was a hard tackle that he took.
Got the trainer with him right there. So you see him on the right-hand side in front of the referee there. 15 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter. This man right here is going nowhere.
He's holding the wall up.
Great view of the game, and he's enjoying every second of it. And again, you can tell it's a great evening, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's wearing a coat.
Ball sitting right on the 1-yard line, as we can see.
Now 15 seconds. They should be able to get off about 3 plays. Let's see what they did.
That looks like Mr. Bill Allen, the umpire, as he stands guard over the ball. Here we go. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line for the Warriors. 15 seconds to go. Ooh, well, that's going to cost them 5 yards, guys. They actually had a player running on the field at the time the ball was snapped.
Hampton's saying they've got the ball somehow or another, but
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5 yards, still 1st down.
it's there. That was pretty close. That was pretty close.
So the 5-yard penalty, I'm not sure. It looked like they weren't ready because there was an actual player running on the field.
Please reset the clock to 15 seconds.
I guess they considered that a no play, right?
Well, yes.
He's asking to set that clock back up to 15 seconds.
They want to set the clock back to 15 seconds. There it goes. So here we go. 1st and goal now as the ball sits at the 6-yard line. Bailey under center, 2 wideouts, 1 on either side. Here's a pitch. Swinging wide. He's going to get near the 5-yard line and stays in bounds. And they can't stop the clock. And it looks like the Crabber defense is going to hold the Warriors from scoring as the clock runs out here in the 1st half of play. Now, let's see. We have to wait and see what's happening here because it looks like Alan Denton, the referee, has stopped the game. And we're not at the halftime yet. We have to wait and see what the officials decide to do here.
We do have a flag on the side over here at about the 6-yard line, Mike, on the right sideline.
All the way over there on the Hampton side.
No, right here. Right down here.
He's standing by one. And we're still waiting on the officials to make a decision. It looks like it's going to be against Kecoughtan because they're talking to the Hampton captains.
Sideline warning on Hampton. We have illegal participation on offense. Declined. Half.
Yeah, Mr. Denton, you did a good job there, buddy.
Oh, baby, Big Al.
Sorry, we're at the end of the first half of play as the Hampton Crabbers hold the Kecoughtan Warriors out of the end zone there at the end of the first half, and they lead 21-0.
And, folks, you're watching LSC, your local sports channel, on October the 30th, 2009, coming to you from Darling Stadium as we bring you the Hampton Crabbers and the Kecoughtan Warriors. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser, Bob Hintz, and Brent Musgrove. And speaking of Bob Hintz.
Yeah, let's send it down there. Bob, you got a special guest for you.
I do too, fellas. I tell you, I was excited about this. I got the principal of Kecoughtan, Rashad Wright, with me. Now, this young man played at Kecoughtan. Now he's back as a principal. There are some teachers there that taught you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are a couple teachers that taught me. Very memorable years at Kecoughtan, and now I get an opportunity to supervise them. It's pretty exciting.
It's got to be exciting. And you're number 9 when you were.
I was number 9. Played wide receiver.
Played wide receiver. Played for Kurt Newsom.
Played for Coach Newsom, definitely.
But you had an experience that a lot of people don't have in high school. For your sophomore and your senior year, what happened?
We beat Hampton. We beat the Crabbers my sophomore year and my junior year. Close games, both came down to the wire. So, hey, we crushed the Crab. No fear in that regards. And a lot of individuals are still in the area, Kecoughtan and Hampton. Great competition back then.
I tell you, we're pleased with you coming back here. Went to school up at VCU. Come back to Hampton. We're excited to have you over. And I talked to the people, and they're excited to have you back there.
Well, it's a dream come true. And I think Hampton City Schools in general, they do a great job of grooming individuals academically. And, we have the longevity to make sure we can come back and be teachers, leaders, and successful in any field.
Wow. All right, we got a little thing going on. Scotty, are you ready? All right, we're going to show a tape. So I'm going to shut up because there's audio in this. Go ahead and run it, Scotty.
Merrill, the quarterback, fakes the handoff, rolls, looking downfield, throws, got a man open, and makes the grab inside the 40-yard line of Hampton. I don't know if
that's Rashard.
Rashard, okay.
Rashard, right. And the pass was right on the money. Running to the left, that's the hardest pass for a right-handed quarterback, but he did a great job of turning his shoulders, him being Morrow.
So the Warriors on third down convert and have a first down at the Hampton 38-yard line. Third down and 8. Morrow got a man wide open. Richard right at the 40-yard line. A first down for Kecoughtan.
All right, we done with it?
Good pop from Janello Gibson, but he held on to the ball. Right may have left. Well, I guess he got set in time and no flag down. And right is the intended.
Oh, what a nice catch.
First down at the 22-yard line. Wide receivers to the left. That's tripped wide to the left. One setback. Barrow looking to the left. Has a man open. Richard right inside the 25. Out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Kecoughtan with one timeout remaining. Merrill over the middle, throws, completes the pass to right inside the 15 at the 11.
All right, listen. You graduated in 96.
Yeah.
But this film is 95 because that's when the football season is going.
That's when the football season
And you were catching this ball, and you were catching this ball. In fact, one of the games, I think it was against Bethel, we showed a Hampton
play of the game.
And you got play of the game?
Yeah.
You still got the shirt?
I still had the shirt and the plaque. My mom has it all.
You need to get a tape of this.
I will.
Because this is wonderful to be able to have you come back after playing football at Kecoughtan, come back here and stand as a principal, and we be able to see when you were catching the ball, and I was impressed with this young man.
Well, I remember you all during those games, and when I would look back and some of the breakdown of the footage you guys did was pretty awesome to hear that and being back. That's why I expect them to do well out here. It's hard looking at the score, but I'll get over it. I'll find a way to sleep tonight.
Well, listen, we appreciate you taking time coming in. I know you're going home. Your wife's in your first trimester, your second child, and you're excited about that.
Definitely.
Good luck on everything you're doing, and I hope it's a beautiful baby. I'm sure it will be.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, guy. Good
Y'all
to see
be
you.
good.
All right, let's go on back up to the booth.
I'll see you, man.
All right. Appreciate that. Right now, the pregame tonight, we had the player introduction of the senior class, and now we're having the band seniors as they are having band night, I guess you would call it, since they had senior night earlier for the football team. The bands do it too.
That's correct, Mike, and they have a lot of seniors in the band, as it's a fairly decently sized band. And I understand that Kelly D is no longer the band director at Kecoughtan High School. And I'm not sure. There's Kelly D right there. Speak of the man. There's Kelly D right there, along with Gene Wheeler, one of our guys. Kelly did a great job for years and years and years at Kecoughtan High School in promoting the band, and it just turned this group into a fantastic organization. Of course, he had tremendous parental support, and he also sponsored and put together the Warrior Classic, which was held every year here at Darling Stadium with bands competing for honors from all over the state of Virginia. And we at Channel 46, 48, were very lucky to be able to televise 2 of those events. A very long day, but a very enjoyable day as we listen to music from all over the state of Virginia by the high school bands. So tonight they recognize their seniors who are playing here at Darling Stadium in a football game for the last time in their high school career.
They'll let the players get in formation, and we will carry the band playing their halftime routine here tonight live. So without further ado, we'll send it down to the field as the marching band for the Kecoughtan Warriors will perform here at halftime. Again, the score at the half, the Hampton Crabbers 21, and the Phoebus, or the Kecoughtan Warriors, nothing. I'm getting ahead of myself.
At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to ask, Rivers Taylor, is your band ready?
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the award-winning Kecoughtan High School Warrior Marching Band. As the band exits the field, it's my pleasure to call out the winning number for the 50-50 raffle tonight. The winning number 5852888. One more time, 5852888. If you have this winning ticket, please report to the press box to claim your winnings.
And welcome back here at the half. The Hampton Crabbers out in front of the Kecoughtan Warriors by a score of 21-0. Hampton has, it seems like they really just started to roll as the Hampton passing attack. We talked about that earlier, was a key for Hampton, and it worked tonight so far here in the first half. So let's go ahead and talk about our replays.
All right. And here are some of the replays of the first half. The first one we're going to see is the first Hampton touchdown. It's a 29-yard pass to Monago Graves. Now the next one, and the next three actually, are going to be fumbles that go back and forth. The first one Hampton recovers, and then they fumble the ball right back to the Warriors right here as it's picked up. And then a few plays later, Kecoughtan gives it right back to the Crabbers on a third fumble. The next play is a little swing pass to Dion Futch. Now this one will go for 38 yards and a touchdown as he just runs by the defense. The next one is the run that takes the ball to the goal line by Wofford. He just missed getting in, so what does he do on the next play? He gives and takes and goes right into the end zone for a touchdown. Those are some of the highlights from the first half, Mike, where Hampton, offensively anyway, has pretty much controlled this game. Defensively, they've done the same thing.
I think when you see the first half stats, you will see why the Crabbers have this lead. Look at this passing yardage here. Absolutely outstanding for the Crabbers. 122 yards passing to 2. And rushing the ball, the Hampton hasn't done that well, but they've outrushed the Kecoughtan 63 to 20, to 23. So I mean, they've outgained them by 40 yards on the ground. But 120 yards in the air is a big feat right now. As Watford has really been on target, and he's had 2 touchdown passes to Deion Funch tonight, and he's done a great job. And total yardage obviously is a major difference between the two, and that shows in the time of possession.
Yes, that's the big difference right there, Mike. 16-10 for possession of Hampton and only 7:49 for the Warriors.
2 turnovers apiece for each team, and I tell you what, it may have been worse than it was if it wasn't for the 4 penalties that the Hampton had at key moments of their drives. And you know, this is something that Hampton had a hard time with last week when they played Phoebus. They had penalties just at the wrong time of their drives, and I believe would they have 11 penalties last week, or
at least 11? Yes.
It was a lot, but. A big difference in the total yards between the 2 teams, as it's pretty much tells the tale of this 21-0 Crabber lead. As I believe Kecoughtan will start the second half on the offense, as the Crabbers will have to kick off as they receive the opening kickoff. And there's again Deion Funch for the Crabbers.
And folks, we want to thank Mike Nowinski for our halftime plays that you just saw there, and Andy Foley for the graphics and stats that we're able to bring to you. A fine crew down in the truck bringing you all the great information that they can get us to show you on the screen. Super job, guys.
Don't forget, we got Brent Musgrove up here gathering all that halftime stat information for us.
Not just gathering, and he feeds it to the truck puts it on the computer puts it on the screen comes up to us, and we look like we know what we're doing, but
like Andy says, that's sort of how it works.
Well, that's the magic way. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's the basics of it all.
So the Crabbers will start on defense as they will kick off right to left as you see the field on your screen here live at Darling Stadium. Hampton 21 and Kecoughtan nothing at the half.
You're watching LSC on October the 30th, 2009. And ladies and gentlemen, the third quarter of tonight's game is being sponsored by Eric Thompson Realtor, a Hampton City Schools alumni and former athlete. You can call Eric at 685-3127 to buy or sell a home or property. And by Zooms. Once again, David Allen and Zooms are sponsoring student athletes in Hampton. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern. Good food at great prices. Bring the entire family to enjoy one of their delicious meals at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, or right here in Hampton at the Coliseum Drive and Mercury Boulevard intersection. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports offers screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And finally, by Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central, located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armstead Avenue and Interstate 64, where you can take care of all your shopping, dining, and entertainment, medical, and business needs right here at Coliseum Central. Get centered.
Here's the kickoff by Skylar Hutchinson as it is taken by number 1, Aaron Matthews at the 10-yard line, cuts to the inside, up the middle of the field, breaks a tackle or two, out to about the 27-yard line. And this is where Kecoughtan will start their opening drive here of the second half as they trail the Hampton Crabbers 21-0. Nice run back by Aaron Matthews as he gets the ball out to the Crabber 27-yard line as we continue to look at some of our fans that are enjoying the game here tonight at Darling Stadium.
And Mike, we ended this first half with Kecoughtan having the ball within a yard or two of the goal, only to be denied by Hampton. And here they get the ball in the second half. They need to get this offense going again.
There's a handoff up the middle. That is Reese, number 32, on the carry up the middle. Looks like he's out near the 35-yard line. We're going to give him about 8 yards. That's the best running gain of the night for Kecoughtan. Malcolm Reeves on the carry for Kecoughtan. Second down and 3 as the ball sits at the 35. Reeves again, and not much there as the Crabbers had that one defensed, and they're going to give him about a yard out to the 36-yard line, and I'm not really so sure that he got that far up the line. Did you see that?
No, he was hit on the line from the side, but he was able to take another step or two before it looked like Tyrell Miller, number 41, the linebacker, stepped in and stood him up.
Give him a yard on a gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2.
Here's the replay. You see him hit right here on the side. Tyrell Miller just wraps him right there.
Got a good spot there, I believe.
Yeah, he did. That's a great spot.
3rd down and short now for Kecoughtan. See if they hand the ball off to Reeves again. No, keeper this time up the middle. A gain of about 5 yards on the play for the quarterback, Bruce Bailey, and that's going to be good for the Kecoughtan 1st down out to the 41-yard line. That's their 3rd. They only had 2 1st downs in the first half. That was a stat that wasn't showed, and one of those 1st downs was because of a penalty.
There you see the quarterback taking the quarterback sneak, and there's 2 good runs on this series so far.
1st and 10 at the 41. Bailey, a keeper again up the middle. He stopped shy of the 44. Pickup of a couple on the play.
You see number 32 for the Crabbers getting up. That's Dallas Cogdell. He was right in on that play. He just kind of dove right for the runner's legs and got in quickly.
There's another flag over there on the Hampton sideline. Again, I think this is going to be the 3rd time they're going to call them for a sideline infraction.
Sideline warning on Hampton. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
That's the 3rd time tonight.
Yes. This is the 2nd one.
Says the 2nd. I thought it was the 3rd time, but
please reset the clock to 10:06.
10:06 on the clock. So they will reset the clock again. A 5-yard penalty will make it 2nd down now and 2 as the ball sits at the Warrior near the Kecoughtan 49. Bailey back to pass. Long down the middle. And what a great defensive play that time by the Crabbers. And was it number 11 on the Crabbers? On the defense? If that was number 11, that was Monte Haney out there. And whichever player it was, let's see if we can see exactly who it was.
That would sound like him. Looks like he's throwing into double coverage. Looked like they had a cover 2 situation, and he's throwing into double coverage right there. And that is number 10.
So it wasn't 11, it was number 10. That's Justin Ricks. Good defensive play that time by the Crabbers. That brings up 3rd down and 2 now for Kecoughtan. Little short pass over the middle. It is completed to number 2, Jace DePriest. Jace DePriest all the way down to the Crabber 26-yard line. Nice play on a slant pass. Good for a 1st down.
Hey, guys.
Nice slant by DePriest Jace here to pick up some good yardage for the Warriors.
Hey, guys, he did a good job. Bailey did a good job of holding that ball for about 2 seconds to let that guy break open on that slant pattern. Great job.
Well, Bob, he had some blocking that time. He had plenty of blocking.
There's Reeves over the middle. Barreling his way all the way inside the 20 down near the 19-yard line. A good 8-yard pickup as the Kecoughtan Warriors are moving the ball right now at will against the Crabber defense. So the halftime preparation and adjustments that the Kecoughtan Warriors did is doing really well right now.
Reeves with 2 good runs in this series and 1 good run by Bailey, the quarterback, but somebody may have woken the sleeping giant in Malcolm Reeves.
Well, they didn't hand the ball off to him very much in the first half. Here's Reeves off the left side. Nice hit that time by the Crabbers. Not a lot there, as he may have actually got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it, as I believe it was number 41 on the stop, Terrell Miller, for the Crabbers.
Mike, you made a good point. I don't think they gave the ball to Reeves very much that first half, and I was kind of disappointed because he had a good game the last week.
Well, we talked about that earlier in the game, and I didn't think that he was getting the carries that we expected to see. So maybe that'll change here in the second half as Kecoughtan now has a 3rd down again and 2. So last time they had a 3rd and 2, they had that short pass that went for about 20 yards. Let's see what happens here. Uh-oh. Bad pitch, and it's fumbled, and it's all the way back to the 29-yard line, and it looks like Bailey just pitched the ball to the air that time because there was nobody there.
I'm not sure. It looked like his helmet was facing the opposite direction of where he was pitching the ball. Let's see if we can see it on the replay there.
He's looking down the line.
He's not looking now. He turns and just.
Oh, wait a minute. The ball was
supposed
deflected.
to go. Yeah.
I believe that the ball was deflected by the Crabbers, Terrence Mack, number 55. Well, Kyle Lawrence will set up to attempt to kick a 45-yard field goal here. Young man has a
this
foot.
Replay again, Mike. Right there. Yes, sir. Great camera job as that ball was deflected.
The snap, the kick, it's up. They're blowing the play dead. I believe the kick was short, but let's see what the penalty might be here.
Mike, you're right. That was about 3 inches short.
Dead ball, encroachment on the defense.
Well,
5 yards.
That'll give them a better snap. See if that's where it was when they kicked it a minute ago. It would have gone through, right?
That's right.
So Lawrence will get another shot. This time it'll be a 40-yarder.
Yep. He's 5 yards closer, so that's 180 inches. Is that correct? And if Bob said he was 3 inches short, he ought to be okay. Now, I'm
exactly
not a mathematician,
right,
but
I'm glad you're the math genius.
Bruce Bailey is holding the ball. The ball is down. The kick is up. It's plenty long enough, and it is. Give us a signal, guys. It's good. So Kyle Lawrence kicks a 40-yard field goal for the Kecoughtan Warriors to open up the second half here, and the Warriors finally get on the board as they now trail the Crabbers 21-3 on a 40-yard field goal.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I think the officials down here just wait for you to kind of stumble before they throw their hands up to let you know.
I thought they were just looking at each other to make sure that they're both going to say the same thing. There's Coach Tidwell of the Kecoughtan Warriors as he talks to one of the referees as well as his team right before they will attempt to kick off to the Hampton Crabbers after the field goal, which put them on the board.
That was a nice kick by Lawrence. How far did he go beyond the goalpost? Could you tell down there, Bob? He must not have heard us. So Lawrence will tee it up at the 40, and the Kecoughtan Warriors will kick off to the Crabbers. What do you think? Onside kick here?
No.
Try to get the ball?
No.
No.
No, although we're down to 7 minutes in the third. This game has been fast. No, I don't expect an onside kick here. Maybe a pooch kick. Maybe a squibbler.
Don't you do that with a pencil, scribble?
Not anymore. I grew out of that.
That's not what I heard.
Dion Futch standing down at about his 8-yard line right in the middle of the field. Set to receive the kick from Lawrence. And there is a kick right down the middle. And I can't believe, no, they're coming to the near side. Taken at the 10. Oh. Gets away from one tackle, but not the second one. As
number 3, guys.
Looks like number 2 actually received a kick for the Crabbers, Daquan Charity. And number 3 on the stop for the Kecoughtan Warriors is how do you pronounce this young man's first name? Jatanzio.
That'll work.
Sai. Last name spelled S-Y-E, so we'll call it Sai.
First name Jatonzeo. We apologize if we mispronounce that.
Yep.
Jatanzio Sai. Was very good, sir.
I do better doing that than I do the
Jason
Monongo Graves. I do apologize.
I just think you've got the mango fruit on your mind for some reason. You know.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at their own 20-yard line. There's a handoff to the deep back on the play that time, and I believe it's number 22 for the Crabbers, Brian Hawkins. Picks up maybe a yard out near the 21, so we'll call it 2nd down and 9 for the Crabbers.
Now, and that could be a big if the way the Crabbers offense has been playing tonight, but if the Warrior defense can hold the Crabbers here, it will be a big mental boost for them.
What a boost. As I'm sitting here looking at the injured quarterback down on the side of the field, Anthony Dorsey. and they would sorely love to have Mr. Dorsey back.
Hey, Mike, I
Yes,
was
sir.
talking to Dorsey earlier, and I asked him about his foot, and he says he's already going through therapy and everything, and he's going to be ready about the middle of December, and he's going to be playing basketball.
Well, that's the big concern they had, Bob, was whether he would be okay. They knew his football season was going to end at this time, but they just wanted to make sure he would be ready for basketball.
And he's excited about it.
Watford back to throw, completed short to about the 24-yard line. And I just don't understand why the referees are pulling the ball back where he was tackled, because they're not giving him the advancement of the ball at all. He's all the way out at the 24-yard line, and he's pulled backwards to the 23, and that's where they set the ball. They're not giving him forward progress on any of the plays here tonight.
Are they doing a tip for everybody, Mike?
Yeah, they are.
Well, they're being consistent.
Well,
that's all you
what's
can
important.
ask for.
That's right.
That's right.
Give them where the yard's supposed to go to, though. You know, if you hit a player at the 24 and he's pushed backwards to the 23 and you put it at the 23, it makes no sense.
I always get forward progress because I'm going forward in everything I do and getting older and older and older. I wish they'd put me back some.
Flag down again. It looks like somebody on the Hampton sideline may have moved a little early.
On the sideline?
Well, how about on the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I was moving. I was moving on the sideline.
On the offense,
it made somebody
5
from
yards.
the Crabbers move,
Still
I
third
guess.
down.
Is that right, Bob?
That's correct. And it was,
Saw the
Paul
shadow.
was moving forward. That's not the words I get. Getting older necessarily means you're forward. You may be going down.
No.
5-yard penalty.
Wish.
5-yard penalty on the Crabbers for a movement. And it brings up a 3rd down and 12 now. A little bit different situation on 3rd down as Watford is in the shotgun back to pass. Then flushed out of the pocket. Throws the ball wide out of bounds. And it'll be incomplete. It'll be 4th down and long now for the Crabbers as they will have to set themselves up to punt the ball away.
Mike, that was just good coverage on the part of the Warriors. They had every possible receiver shadowed, and Wofford just couldn't find a good target to throw to. And by that time, he was getting pressure from the Kecoughtan line. So he did the only thing he could do, and that was get rid of the ball and throw it out of bounds.
Skylar Hutchinson stands down at his own 6-yard line and waiting to snap to punt the ball away. Aaron Matthews, number 1, standing at his own 45-yard line awaiting the punt. Crabbers have the wind to their back right now here in the 3rd quarter. Line drive kick to Matthews that takes it at the 49-yard line, breaks a tackle. Down he goes at the Crabber 43-yard line. So field position right now has changed for the better as far as Kecoughtan's concerned. So they've made some changes, and so far it's working out here as they get the ball 1st and 10 now inside of Hampton territory.
Hey, fellas, sometimes when you got a big lead going in halftime, it's hard to get those kids fired up coming back out second half, and Hampton just playing real flat right now.
They
1st
are.
and 10. 4:38 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hampton 21 and Kecoughtan 3 as the Warriors have the ball 1st and 10 at the Hampton 44. Reeves on the handoff. Follows his block out to near the 35-yard line. He'll get inside the 35 down near the 34. That will be close to a 1st down. We'll have to wait and see where they actually mark the ball.
Young Mr. Reeves is just moving those legs and continuing to pump yardage as he gets hit, and he keeps on going and keeps on going. Kind of like the ever-ready Battery Bunny.
Hey, guys, remember when I was talking to Coach Tidwell? He said that Reeves said, give me the ball in
Yes.
the last game. I think he may have said that during halftime.
Well, he got 9 out of that one, so it's 2nd down and a yard for the Warriors.
Maybe they should add him to the coaching staff.
There again is a handoff as Reeves just took the ball right out of Bailey's hand down to the 30. Good for a 1st down. It almost looked like Bailey wanted to pull it back, didn't he?
It did. And I was going to mention that, but you hit right on it. As Bailey handed the ball, Reeves grabbed it almost as if to say,
you're not going to take
Bob
it back.
is right.
I'm keeping
I'm
it.
taking the ball. Watch this.
this.
I'm getting it. He just knocked Bailey off his feet grabbing the ball.
Give me the ball. I'll
Gain
get the
of,
1st down, guys.
Gain of about 4
And he
play.
did.
Good for a 1st down. 1st and 10 at the Crabber 30 as Kecoughtan is again threatening to get on the scoreboard here in the 3rd quarter. Bailey keeps the ball this time and nothing doing. He's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's see, they may mark him about a yard shy of the line of scrimmage, so he'll lose a yard. give the Crabbers a sack on the play, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
Now here is where Kecoughtan needs to make an adjustment. You see right there that the Crabbers defense has made an adjustment. Guess who they're keying on right now?
The quarterback.
Reeves, the running back, who's been taking it. You grab the quarterback and Reeves, they're not going to do anything. They're going to have to go to the air.
Well, that's what Coach Smith said in the pregame discussion. The two players that needed to stop was Reeves and Bailey, and that's what they did in the first half. And right now, that's what the Crabbers have to do. So the Crabbers, again, this time incomplete as it was intended for number 2 on the play, and that's DePriest Jace. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 11 now for the Warriors.
That was a quick slant right there, and Bailey just fired that ball right in there.
And they were successful on that earlier here in the first quarter, or third quarter, and it allowed him to get a 1st down. This time it went through his hands, incomplete. Again, back to pass to Bailey. He tucks it under. Nope, he drops back and throws it. Oh, good defense. Flair was 5 yards behind the defense that time.
Now, I disagree. It was good defense. That was a short pass right there because, like you said, he had a man wide open 5 yards behind the Hampton secondary. And if he could have got that ball to him, 6 points were on board.
Adrian Pope was the intended receiver. Incomplete pass. That brings up 4th and 11. The ball sits at the Crabber 31-yard line.
Here's the replay, and that pass is just flat underthrown. And there you can see the receiver wide open.
When he was running to the right that time, he never squared his shoulders up, so he never got any zip on that ball. That's why it ended up being short.
Good point.
4th and 11. Back to pass again is Bailey. Being flushed out of the pocket, swings to the left. He's going to, I think he was beyond the line of scrimmage, guys. Incomplete pass, but there's no flag on it. Don't matter. That was a 4th down. Wait a minute. Is there a flag on the play?
There's a flag in the middle of the field, guys.
Let's see right here. Is he? No, he's behind.
No, that was a good call.
He's plenty behind, so it might be.
But there is a flag right in the middle of the field here. Let's see what it is. Looks like it's going to go against
an eligible receiver downfield. On the offense, the penalty is declined. 1st and 10, Hampton.
So the Crabbers stop them after the short punt, and will take over 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. They'll mark it at 31. 1st and 10 for Hampton. We're down to 2:38 to go here in the third quarter play. Hampton out in front 21-3.
We're at Darling Stadium, October the 30th, 2009. You're watching LSC, either on channel 48 in Cox or channel 22 on Verizon Fios. Or maybe you're somewhere in the country watching us on the internet. Simply go to the Hampton City Schools site and click on WHCS on the right-hand side. You'll go to a new screen. Click on LSC on the right, and a little window will pop up, and you'll be able to watch us. And, of course, if you don't have the proper plug-in, just download it.
Watford hands the ball off to the deep back, and I believe that's number 2 on the play, is it?
Yes.
Juan Charity as number 55, Justin Washington, on the stop for Kecoughtan. A gain of about 2.5 maybe. And a 2nd down and 8 now, we'll call it, for the Crabbers.
On the Warriors side there, you see Dylan Reynolds, number 68, the 6'4", 235-pound junior.
Dion Funch now comes into the game this time. He's spreading out wide to the right, to the near side. 2 wide outs on either side of the ball now, with a single set back beside Wofford in the shotgun. There goes Dion Funch in motion. There's a pitch out, and it's fumbled away, picked up by the Crabbers' number 21 on the play, and that's Chris Chaver. He's going to end up losing a couple back to near the 30-yard line. Now that little play didn't work out too well for the Crabbers. That's going to bring up 3rd down now and a little bit more than 10.
I think Wofford just took his eyes off the ball again and just had a bad pitch to Caver there.
Right now, the Crabbers' offense is sputtering here in the third quarter. In the first half, they kind of moved the ball pretty much at will, especially through the air.
Well, as you said earlier, Mike, they go into the clubhouse at halftime, and they're going to make some adjustments. And so far, both of them have made some good adjustments.
Snap is picked up off the ground. Here's Watford on the carry, and down he goes at 30. Wide open over here on the near side for the Crabbers. Number one, Daquan Moore, and couldn't get the ball to him as he gets the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and 1.
Kecoughtan put the pressure on there. They had everybody covered to our left side, to the quarterback's right side. On the left side down here, as Mike and I both saw, was Daquan Moore, number one, who was wide open about 7 yards up. Easy for us to see, of course. We're not back there.
Hakeem Gardner, number 11, on the tackle that time for Kecoughtan. Hutchison back to punt the ball away for the Crabbers. Matthews back to receive as he lets the ball bounce. It gets a Kecoughtan roll to the 37-yard line where it's down by the Crabbers, and they will take the ball over 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. There we go. 5 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter on a quick-moving 3rd quarter here for this game.
The Old Point National Bank scoreboards at either end of the field. Once again, you're watching LSC on October the 30th. It's a wonderful, beautiful Friday night. A great night for football. It's been a great year for football. We've had a lot of good games and a lot of parity this year in the league. Look at this handsome man on the screen right there. I tell you what, if I look like that when I'm 92 years old, I'll be a lucky man.
If I look like this at 92, I'm going to be lucky.
Oh, man, that was almost an outstanding play that time. 23 on the attended reception. Adrian Pope, incomplete pass. That's the end of the 3rd quarter play here. As
watch this layout. This would have been just fabulous if he'd have been able to hang on to this. How many times, though, have we seen that tonight for the Warrior receivers, in and out, in and out? But that would have been a stupendous catch right there.
So at the end of 3, Hampton 21, Kecoughtan 3. Hey, here's a stat for you.
Give me one.
You know how Kecoughtan had no first downs pretty much the first half?
Right.
Well, this time they've got 3 in the 3rd quarter, and Hampton has no first down in the 3rd quarter of play.
Well, that's the adjustment as we watch the crowd there. And again, right there in the middle left of your screen, the redhead lady with her husband on the right. That's Rebecca Felix, math teacher, along with her husband, Mr. Felix.
Kecoughtan band over here just whooping it up a little bit. There we are. They've got them on the screen now.
Just a great guy. I can't say enough about the Kecoughtan band. I've enjoyed watching them over the years. You know, I used to be the announcer for the Kecoughtan Warriors for all their sports and homecoming events and other things. And just listening to that band was just simply a pleasure.
So as we get ready to start the 4th quarter of play here, we'll give you their 4th quarter
sponsors. And real quickly, a few of the 4th quarter sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armstead Avenue. And Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you, a longtime sponsor of Hampton City Schools and the student athletes.
Well, there was a little flare pass over here to the Warriors number 23 on the play, Adrian Pope, and he dropped the ball. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 now.
Our other sponsors for the 4th quarter tonight: Kelly's Tavern, family dining with some of the best, if not the best, burgers in town, located on the peninsula at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News and at Coliseum Drive and Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News.
Now Bailey drops back to pass, and nothing going there as he is sacked in the backfield, and they will lose about 7 yards on the play back near the 31-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th and long.
He drops back, and they drop him. It was that simple and that quickly. Our final sponsor for the 4th quarter, ladies and gentlemen, Coliseum Central, located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armstead Avenue and Interstate 64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here at Coliseum Central. More than 700 friendly businesses wait to serve you in one compact and convenient location. Coliseum Central. Get centered.
Lawrence in now to punt the ball away for Kecoughtan. Deion Futch standing back in his own territory and lets the ball bounce and gets an outstanding Kecoughtan bounce, that time down inside the 25. 45 yards on that punt by Lawrence, as the Crabbers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Well, Bob, you seeing as good a game down there here in the second half as we're seeing up here, I assume?
Yeah, Mike, it's really funny how much it has changed. Kecoughtan seems to be more aggressive, and Hampton seems to be, well, you know, we're just kind of
a little more passive.
Yeah, they're more passive. But the hitting's still good both sides. They're doing some good hitting.
And let's see this. The Crabbers will set up in a 4 wide receiver format, 2 on either side of the center. Watford by himself, or he's in the shotgun. Back to pass after the fake, and what a wide. He's got all kind of room over here to the near side. Nice run all the way out to the 50-yard line, where he's forced out of bounds by the Warriors' number 4 on the play, and that's Deshaun Jackson.
Mike, I believe you and I could have taken some semis and driven down that side of the field.
Well,
and
watch this. He was running down the field trying to direct his own players to turn around and block for him. Watch this. Come on, right there, got a block, and he finally turns around, but before he gets a chance, he's already run by his own blocker.
Yes, he has.
Nice run on the play, though. 1st and 10 for the Crabbers at the Warrior 49-yard line. Here we go with I guess the clock stopped now after he ran out of bounds. 10:41 to go. That's what they normally do. They stop. 10:49 to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Or the third quarter play. Well, we in the third quarter. We're in the fourth quarter.
Right here.
That's right.
Screen.
It shows it right there on the screen.
Here you go, Mike. It's right there in front of you. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Not much there as he's able to get back to about the line of scrimmage. Well, they're going to give him a yard. You hearing some good hitting down there, right, Bob?
It really are, Mike. These young men have not quit on either side of the line. That line of scrimmage, they're doing some fierce battle down here.
Gain of about a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9 now for the Crabbers. Again, 4 wideouts, 2 on either side of the line of scrimmage. And we have Watford in the shotgun. Looks like number 32 for the Crabbers back here beside him. That's Dallas Cogdill. Watford on the keeper. Nice stop that time by the Warriors' number 55. That's Justin Washington, able to get an arm on him. He's able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Is about it.
Hampton continually trying to spread out that Warrior defense so they can continue with their running game up the middle. There you see Wofford with the quarterback keeper. Softening up that line.
Fellas, they just want that clock to run out, but they have yet to get a first down in the second half, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
Got one. They just got it a little while ago on that long run by Watford out to the 49. That was their initial first down in the second half.
Which initial was that? A?
Sure. Their first down of the second half.
That would be an A.
The initial one. Now the officials are blowing whistles again.
Are you teaching class up there?
Dead ball.
I'm trying.
Delay a game.
I'm trying.
On the offense.
That's
5 yards.
Third
Still
delay
put it
game
down.
penalty by the Crabbers here in the game. 5 yards it'll cost them. Class is in session.
Class is always in session.
Amen.
3rd down and about 14 now for the Crabbers. Ball sits back at their own 48-yard line. 3 wideouts. There goes Dion Futch in motion. Back to throw. Out to the outside. Nice pass. It is completed, and it will be good for a first down.
I'm not sure what happened on that right side of the Kecoughtan secondary.
Well, Dion Funch went in motion and it turned up the field. If we can see this, when he cut back up the field, it left that player out there wide open.
Yes.
And the defense went, both defenders actually went with Dion Funch on the play. That was a good play call right there as the 2 wide receivers on that side crisscrossed, and caused some confusion on the defense and allowed the player to be open, and it's good enough gain for a first down.
Yeah, when you're someone like Deion Futch, you're going to have the defense keying on you, and that paid off for Hampton right then as they were able to get the underneath receiver.
I believe the pass was completed to Keith Hill, number 21. 1st and 10, Hampton, as the ball's inside the Kecoughtan 40. Here's a keeper. Oh, and he gets just absolutely plastered at the line of scrimmage, straight back.
Woo.
Who is that, 54 on the stop?
Number 54, is that the nose guard for the Warriors?
Yeah, that would be Sean Fauntleroy.
That is who it is, exactly.
And
number 54, Sean Fauntleroy, 5'10", 290-pound junior. He'll be back next year, folks. He'll be back.
Officials are calling timeout. Looks like Hampton. Yes. Hampton calls their first timeout here in the second half. 7:55 to go in the game as the Crabbers are still out in front, 21-3. The only point scored here in the second half was Kyle Lawrence's 40-yard field goal back in the third quarter,
which was a good thing for the Kecoughtan Warriors. They needed to break through, and they did. That kind of breaks the ice for them, loosens them up a little bit. They've played some really great defense here so far in this second half. Coach Tidwell talking with the Warriors on the sidelines there. He's trying to get something going. He's saying, guys, come on. There is Mike Smith's Crabbers.
Sitting there in the middle there with along with Danny Mitchell.
Like Danny. Oh, I had one of those at one time. Kecoughtan Warrior. Those blankets are warm. Folks, it doesn't matter what you have on there. I mean, I've got a baseball team on mine. We won't talk about the Yankees, but they're really great. And that thing is just it's a real warm blanket. If you don't have one like that, buy one. You don't even have to have anything on it. No, I've never given up that blanket. That's my blanket. That's my lucky blanket. I put it on last night, and A.J. Burnett just went to town, baby.
Did you put it on the night before?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, you made a mistake then.
Yeah, that's probably why they lost, right?
I did.
There's Futch in motion. Oh, he is moving forward and got away with it. Nice pass, wide open. There's Futch down the right sideline as he is brought down near the 16-yard line. Again, the wide receiver that was in motion looked like he may have moved forward before the snap.
And Mike, I have been watching them here, and it appears that many of the receivers in motion for Hampton are taking a step right before
Let's see it.
the snap. We missed it right there.
We missed it.
One thing I like about Deion Futch, when you see him go out, it's almost as if he's running his patterns. When the quarterback starts scrambling, he's changed his pattern and coming to the ball. That kid just has a nose.
Eligible receiver downfield. Offense.
If you show the replay, you will see the runner, the ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, when Wofford starts running, that's the case. Anytime a quarterback starts running like that, you figure
forward.
He's
now
going to run.
Watch as he runs towards us. Watch the middle of the field here to the right side of the screen.
Yeah, well, they're going to do what they're supposed to do. You start running, and you're going to go down there and block for him. So you're kind of caught in between.
So the 5-yard penalty will bring up second down and about 15 now as the ball sits at the Kecoughtan 43-yard line. Split backs behind the line of scrimmage, 3 wide outs.
House backfield there, man.
Back to pass. He put them back there to help blocking as he's on the run again. And nice pass is completed to the Crabbers number, is it 15? Yeah, that's Jaquan Brown.
Hey, fellas, these Crabber wideouts, when they see him scrambling, some of them take off down the field, and then some of them come back, and that's what happened that time. That young man came back to the ball, gave him an open shot.
Crabbers have, 9 penalties in the game?
9 penalties for 55 yards, so they're pretty close to what they had last week against Phoebus.
Third down and about 2 now. The ball sits at the 30-yard line. As Watford now is starting to spread out his passing to the different wide receivers here in the game. First half, it was pretty much the Deion Futch the entire first half, as he had a couple of touchdown passes. There's a direct snap to the back, breaks tackle, gets inside the 25-yard line, and that was number 11 for the Crabbers, Hakeem Gardner. That's the first time we've called his name tonight. unusual play. It's something we don't normally see as the ball.
Actually, that was Monty Haney, number 11 for the Crabbers.
You're right. You're right.
Mike, I'm always right, buddy.
Not always. Most of the time.
Number 1 rule, Mr. Rowe is always right. Number 2 rule, if Mr. Rowe is ever wrong, refer to rule number 1.
Oh, brother. What do you think about that one down there?
I got to sit down.
Here we go. First and 10 for the Crabbers. Another direct snap, this time I believe to number 22 on the play, Brian Hawkins, as he gets down near the 20-yard line. As it looks like the Crabbers are pulling out all stops right now using the Wildcat. As Watford, the ball's not even being snapped to Watford, so that's the first time we've seen that this year.
Mike, they're kind of using him as a decoy because he's been getting the ball all the time, so he acts like he's getting it, but he's not. Good call by the coaching staff over there for the Crabbers.
Yeah, it's a great way to mix things up in there and get the other team thinking, and they're going to be a little confused. And when there's confusion, there's hesitation, and when there's hesitation,
there's big games.
Well, yeah, but just 1/2 a second indecision makes a big difference.
Yes, it does.
Second down and 7. Looks like the Crabbers might call timeout here. No, they're going to call
it. We're going to have they got a flag back there in the corner for delay of game, is what he said, or what he showed. But we'll find out what happens here.
These are quick delay of game penalties, guys.
But if you're going to have a delay of game, you might as well have a quick one and not waste a lot of time with a long one.
Well, the Crabbers have called a timeout. Let's see whether they got it before the delay.
There we go.
There's no flag. We have a timeout prior to the delay of game.
So the Crabbers will call their second timeout. What you got there?
Wofford is 9 for 11, and I'll assume that's just in the game. 9 for 11. That's not bad.
What's the yardage on that 9 for 11?
There is no yardage on 9 for 11. That's the number of attempts and the number of complete.
That's how many. I'm asking for yards.
I think he needs to go back to school, Paul.
Yeah. Well, no. That is the other way around on this one.
I'm going to have to get Miss Felix
if he's 9 of
to
10,
teach me some math. 9 of 11.
Somebody needs to go back to school.
He's got 152 yards. Thank you very much. Which is what I was asking for.
That's what I thought you were asking for. That's why somebody needs to go back to school. I think it's Paul.
No, he handed me the paper that said Wofford is 9 for 11.
Which means he was 9 for 11 for 152
And here
yards.
his note says Paul was telling you exactly what I told him to tell you. Leave him alone.
Yeah, well, okay, Paul.
Right there, 17, right there.
Paul is always right. Refer to number 1 rule.
That's right.
That's right.
You're learning.
Here we go. Second down now, 7 for the Crabbers. Back to pass. Watford over the middle. That is number 11 on the play. Monty Haney, as he's inside the 5-yard line, down near the 3. Good pass and catch there, and it'll be a first and goal now. What do we got here? What did he write?
A piece of paper with writing on. Monty Haney, who, as Mike mentioned earlier tonight, we called his name a lot last week, and he's just beginning to wake up here in the second half. And tell you what, that kid's a good young ball player.
Again, we have to pick a player of the games, and that's probably pretty close on that side. But here is the kicker. What are we going to do with that one?
Well,
we strive to spread the wealth.
Exactly, and it's been spread.
There is a quarterback keeper on the play that time as Watford keeps the ball up the middle and might gain maybe a yard. As he gets maybe inside the 3-yard line, it'll be a second down and goal. Either way, he did not score. As it's going to be really a difficult situation to pick a player of the game for the Crabbers tonight, because a couple of the players who have really been outstanding tonight have already been picked this year. So we want to make sure that everybody has a chance of doing that. And Bob, I tell you, have you got any favorites down there tonight?
I don't know who you guys have picked earlier, but
and who is that just ran it in there? That's number 20 for the Hampton Crabbers. And that is Kecoughtan Bellamy as he goes in for the score with 4:08 to go in the fourth quarter of play as the Crabbers now extend their lead.
Look at your
27-3.
defensive side, fellas. You've got some guys that's really played some good defense for the Crabbers tonight.
We have. Bellamy goes in for the score for the Crabbers as we see the replay, and Skylar Hutchison comes in now to attempt the extra point out of the hold of Dion Futch. Snap, kick, the ball is up deep enough, definitely, and it is good. So the Crabbers extend their lead to 28-3 with 4:08 to go here in the fourth quarter of play. As you can hear the Hampton Crabber fight song being played over there now after the Crabbers score. So what do you think?
I think it's been a great game, Mike. We got 4 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game. The score is 28-3. It's the Crabbers over the Warriors tonight. This is October the 30th, 2009. You are Mike Hauser. I am Paul Rowe. The young man down on the field is Bob Hintz, and the man up here doing the stats is Brent Musgrove, and the guys in the truck are warm. That's what I know.
Now you guys warmed down in the truck.
And I know what you were asking me, and I think that's how I was answering you.
Okay.
In other words, I don't know.
Well, I think we've got to go
like
right
that,
there.
Yeah. Well.
The only other one would have been that one right there. And
yeah.
They kept him pretty well bottled up. So let's get ready to go here as Skylar Hutchison gets ready to kick off for the Crabbers. Deep into the wind, all the way down inside the 10, down to about the 7. Through the middle is Matthews as he carries the ball all the way outside the 25 to about the 28. If we show the replay of the kickoff, some of the coaches up here were saying he was down, but I don't believe he was.
Number 20, Bellamy, and on the stop for the Crabbers. So the Warriors will take over first down.
So they will have the Kecoughtan Warriors will have it first and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Let's see if his knee hits the ground here. It was close. Wow. Wow. I mean, my goodness, you can't get no closer than that without some grass underneath of it. First and 10. A little misdirection handoff this time to the Warriors, number 23 on that play. That's Adrian Pope. That's probably one of their better tackles in the game, gains in the first half. Or let's see, they had what was it, about a 12 or 13-yard gain. Good for a first down. As the Crabbers number 10 on the play, Justin Ricks gets the stop. First and 10 as the ball sits at Kecoughtan's 41-yard line. Bailey takes the snap and then drops it, turns around, picks it up, and hands off to number 32 on the play, and that's Malcolm Reeves.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
On that play, he wasn't ready for the center to snap the ball. That's why he dropped it, but picked it up and handed it off to the runner. That was very unique.
He was lucky that he got the handoff. Looking at the replay, the runner was right beside him when he finally handed it off to him. It's a gain of about 6 on the play. We'll call it second down and 4. There's another handoff this time to Malcolm Reeves. Not much there as he is brought down by the Crabbers, number 11 on the play, Monty Haney. We've called Monty Haney's name a lot here in the second half, especially on defense. And he's done a great job.
Yeah, and as you can see, I'm sorry, I was checking with the stats here next door with Brent.
Right now,
but,
I say that's a good one.
Okay, well, we came up with this,
yeah,
checking everything. Of course, obviously, you know,
gain of about a half a yard on the play.
The stats point to 2 people. So
third down and about 3, 4. Back to pass Bailey again. This time almost picked off on the play as the Crabbers number 55 on the play. That's Terrence Mack defensively did an outstanding job. And as the ball was intended for Aaron Matthews, number 1. Incomplete pass. That brings up 4th down. What do you think?
I like this.
Okay, suits me.
I thought that was, yeah.
Oop, can't do that one, huh?
We need to go back to the other one.
Yep.
There.
4th down and 3. There's a handoff to the number 6. That's Mike McClary for Kecoughtan, and he picks up about 5 yards on the play and a 1st down for Kecoughtan. There's Bob sitting there walking around.
Sitting there walking around.
I'm very unique. I can sit here and walk around at the same time.
Oh, my gosh.
They're just running a misdirection. I don't know why they haven't done that before. That's almost out of what the Woodside does from that double wing.
Well, Kecoughtan has been known to do that too quite often, but they haven't used it tonight.
I've seen 2 plays tonight, Mike.
1st and 10 as the ball sits at Hampton's 48-yard line. I think we pretty much got our player of the games here.
They are in the book.
Bailey back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket. Down he goes as he's sacked for about a 5-yard loss by the Crabbers' number 8 on the play, Matt Cass, who is one of their place kickers who's out there playing right now.
Timeout.
Here's the replays. We hear a timeout for Kecoughtan. He just goes back to pass. He doesn't get any time to really look downfield and find anyone, and that Hampton defense, as tough as it's been tonight, just brings him down.
So Matt Cass gets a little bit of recognition here on the defensive side here tonight for the first time as he gets a sack on Bailey for a 5-yard loss. Well, we got 1:36 to go here before before the end of the game as the Crabbers are out in front 28-3. So what do you think? Sound like a winner to us? Why don't you go ahead and say it? We're down there pretty good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the players of tonight's game between the Hampton High School Crabbers and the Kecoughtan High School Warriors. For the Hampton Crabbers, we're going to lean a little bit toward defense, and a young man who has played a very good game on defense and also has contributed on the offensive end with several catches from Wofford, and it's going to be Monty Haney. Monty Haney, our player of the game for the Hampton Crabbers. And for the Kecoughtan Warriors, a young man who was pretty much stopped in the first half, but came out in the second half and started rolling and took the Warriors down close enough to where they could finally get some points on the board, and that's the big fullback, Melkeem Reeves.
Good choice. Good choices, guys.
No, Bailey drops back to pass, being flushed out of the pocket again, and down he goes as he is sacked again. This time he will lose about 4 yards back to the 44-yard line. So the Hampton defense has really done a good job here as Kecoughtan will call another timeout here.
And, Mike, I guess we really need to explain to people who've been watching us all year long.
Yes.
Mike and I sit up here and we watch these games, game after game after game, and we see some great players who have fabulous games. There are skill players on this field who are really deserving of winning the player of the game every game.
That's right.
But these are young kids, and you don't want to have the same ones winning all the time. There are other players down there who are doing very well and contributing immensely to the success of the teams. And we like to spread the players of the game around. We like people to be recognized for what they do. Now, sometimes they'll be recognized for what you think is very little. But then again, and I'll give you a big example. Monty Haney has played a really great game tonight. Yes, we may not have called his name on everything, but we've seen him in positions where he has altered the play of a game, and he has really contributed a lot on both offense and defense. And it's someone like that who really doesn't get a lot of the press all the time and a lot of the recognition that we feel deserves that type of recognition. So, again, we try to spread it around and get as many people as we can recognized on what a great job they do.
And one of the other stars of tonight's game, obviously, has been Wolford, the quarterback. He's been outstanding, and he was chosen as a player of the game in one of our earlier games this year. So we try not to pick the same players over and over again. But I tell you what, once you get into the playoffs, it's Katie Bartador. The player who excels the most will be picked during the playoffs. We try to do the regular season this way.
But then we try to take an offensive and defensive player, too.
So a 4th down after the completed pass with no gain on the play, and Bailey pump fakes. He's being flushed down he goes as he is sacked for the 3rd time on this series of plays as the Crabbers' number 55, Terrence Back, just kind of lays Bailey out right here. Look at that. Down he goes as we look at the replay, and that was a 4th down and 14 play, so the Crabbers stop Kecoughtan again and will take over 4th and 10. Yeah, we talked. We had that interview with the principal earlier from Kecoughtan, and he received it, and he was really appreciative. And back in 1995, I think it was. Well, his mother has it, if I'm not correct, remember.
We're probably going to have one more play here. So real quickly, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember that if you want to see this game again, you can see it Saturday, October the 31st at 7 p.m., Tuesday, November the 3rd at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., and Thursday, November the 5th at 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. Now, if you're not sure and you can't remember when these games are that we're replaying, simply go to the Hampton City Schools website, click on WHCS, then you'll go to a second page and it will have the time schedule bars. You can just click on LSC, not the big name on the right, but the schedules, and a big menu will open up telling you when the games will be played.
Yeah, this will be the last play of the game as the clock shows all zeros up there now. So we're done here at Darling Stadium. The final score is the Hampton Crabbers 28 and the Kecoughtan Warriors 3. Again, our player of the games are?
Our players of the game are, for the Hampton High School Crabbers, Monty Haney, and for the Kecoughtan Warriors, Melkeem Reeves. And real quickly, we want to thank Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer, our camera people. Our graphics and animator, Andy Foley, with all the great information you see on the screen. Our slow motion instant replay, the man who brings us the halftime plays and does a super job, Mr. Mike Nowinski. Double duty Renee Camden, who's our camera control operator, production and audio assistant. And a big thanks to Bob Hodges, who's filling in for us and doing a super job as our audio engineer. And the man himself, the one that tells us what to do, make sure that we try to do it right, Mr. Scotty Bowers. I'm Paul Rowe, Mike Hauser, Brent Musgrove, and Bob Hintz. We're bringing you football every Friday night. And, Mike, tonight was a good one.
That's right. Don't forget, next Friday night live here at Darling Stadium, we will have the Phoebus Phantoms and the Bethel Bruins live again here at Darling Stadium. The last game of the regular season before the playoffs. And
a big game.
Look out then. That's right. Both teams in contention. Obviously, Phoebus is undefeated and ranked number 1 in the state, so they're gonna pretty much take it. But again, the final score here at Darling Stadium tonight: the Hampton Crabbers 28 and the Kecoughtan Warriors 3.
From Darling Stadium, you've been watching LSC. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser.
Good night, everyone.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director. And by our newest sponsor, Coliseum Central. Coliseum Central is located right in the heart of Hampton Roads between Armstead Avenue and I-64. You can take care of all your shopping, dining, entertainment, medical, and business needs right here. More than 700 friendly businesses wait to serve you in one compact and convenient location. You will find your favorite national chains as well as unique family-owned stores and service businesses. Coliseum Central. Get centered.